What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Top Rope Renegades. This week in wrestling, we're on to episode number 12. And man, I just got to give you credit where credit's due, RK. That was a fantastic new intro, and I'm excited to see what else you come up with in your free time. Good shit.
You're far too kind. That was thrown together in like a matter of a couple of hours. I'm just learning the programs now, but we are going to start bringing. Well, we're going to bring you as much as we can until we get kicked off YouTube, anyways. But we'll see what we can get away with here.
No, I thought that was really cool. That was I just like when you sent it to me originally, and I could have not watched the whole video, and just the very start when everything sort of changed on the screen, I was sold. I was like, all right, yeah, whatever else you want to do. You could have thrown in clips of just Jinder Mahal after that, and I would have been totally fine with it.
I don't think you would have been.
You're right. I would not have been at all, actually. Uh, Welcome in to This Week in Wrestling with Top Rope Renegades. As I said, we are on episode number 12, getting better and better as we go with each episode. And that's kind of how it goes when you do stuff like this. We're going to have to sit down and react and watch and listen. Well, actually listen, because our very first episode, we didn't have video, but we'll listen to our very first episode.
I think I
And
was using like a tin can to fucking record into on that one as
I
well.
think I was using this headset with this microphone. Or maybe I was using AirPods. I don't remember. But that if we go back and listen to that, we're gonna cringe so hard.
It all starts somewhere. Look where we are now, and it's only going to get more. We're not going anywhere anytime soon.
I agree. Got a good amount of stuff to get into. Of course, the news and the rumors and the innuendo, all circulating around the professional wrestling world. We are a day late. This should get published on Friday, though, if we get it done quick enough and I get it out there. But we are a day late because we tried to go ahead and record last night, and I can just honestly say, ask RK, I wasn't worth a single solitary, you know what. I don't think we're allowed to cuss within the first 10 minutes of a YouTube video now, or they like do something. So I'm gonna try and keep it PG. We're not gonna be able to, but yeah, I was dead to rights last night. I wasn't worth
The
anything.
the fuck you talking about?
That's just something I've heard.
Yeah, anyways, nonetheless, yeah, it's because they only watched the first 10 minutes. They got those little Oompa Loompas back fucking watching video. Oh my god, you can't say that. Ew. Free speech, bitch. Anyways, nonetheless, yeah, that video, yeah. If we want to make a blooper video anytime soon, we'll just have to take everything
I
from that
saved it.
show.
I saved it. I had it because I wasn't sure if we were just going to use, because we got through the news, and I wasn't sure if we were going to use it. But if
I mean,
we
you could say we got through the news. Like, it took a really long time to get
if
through the news.
we watch it back, you will see as the end of you talking through the final little bit of news, and I was going to introduce SmackDown. I took it upon myself to take a deep breath and go. And coming up next, we'll get into recaps of all the shows. And I paused it and I said, I don't think I can go anymore, Coach. Take me out the game. I was dead tired. I didn't realize that it just spaced my mind. The reason I was so exhausted is because we did the mid-year awards for Top Rope Renegades. We gave out our awards for that. It's on the channel now. If you haven't seen it, go check that out.
Oh shit! Speaking of which, thank you to the person that brought us to 15 subscribers. No clue who you are, but thank you.
Yeah, let's make it 16, guys. Remember, never mind. I was going to do the Chris
Hey,
Jericho.
if we get to 1,000, I will get somebody something.
Thank you. Whatever you get me, I will be so happy about it. Yeah. Speaking of gifts, it's not really a gift. I paid for it. My Will Ospreay shirt came in. My Bruv shirt came in from Shop AEW. It took a while. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna dog on them because there's gonna be plenty of that once we get to AEW Dynamite. But it took a while for it to come in. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain too much. That's a sick looking jersey, man.
Yeah, my favorite part is probably the Billy Goat logo over here. I think I like that. We should have pro wrestling crates. Hopefully, maybe soon. No, do we have a
No,
while
dude.
for that still?
We so they ship out July
14th. Does that sound right?
14th, and then
Mm,
it took me like 2 weeks to get mine, so it'll be early August when we do it.
okay. It's every 2 months. I keep thinking that they should be here by now, but they're not.
No,
But looking
every two
forward to
months.
the pro
You
wrestling
know what?
crate.
Since he's pitching his jersey, his Will Ospreay jersey, I just got to say, with the
You know what?
sixth
Here,
overall pick,
here you go.
you
Let's show
what
it
do you
off.
got?
Show it off.
Okay, with the
Show it
sixth
off.
overall pick by the Hockey Club of Utah, because they don't have a team name yet, not till next year. First year, they're just the Hockey Club, which kind of makes it a European thing. I don't fucking know.
100%
Anyways,
right.
unless 6 overall pick from the Kelowna Rockets, right
Nice.
there, baby. Keg Aginla, the son of is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. He should be if he isn't. Jerome Aginla.
Yeah, my shout out to the Utah Hockey Club. I saw the name suggestions, and one made me laugh was the Utah Venom, and they were like, "What is this? A rec league team? What the hell are we doing here?"
They,
But
the Utah Venom, the Utah Venom, and their jerseys next year are like from NHL Chell 24. They're
oh
like
yeah,
black with just neon green
yeah,
ink and shit.
they could 100%. They got that idea off of the World of Chell, without a doubt. Uh,
One that I think that should stick is the Utah Yetis. Honestly,
the Yetis are cool, and they could probably get a Yeti sponsorship if they really push for it. And then I'm a sucker for the Outlaws of any sort, so I think the Utah Outlaws would be pretty cool because you could do some cool jersey color combos with that if they really wanted to. But anyway, that's hockey talk, and we don't do hockey talk here. We actually talk about whatever we want sometimes, but we mainly talk about pro wrestling. And speaking of pro wrestling, RK presented me with a match of the week, and we watched this. It was from What Culture Pro Wrestling. It was Drew Galloway, now known as, of course, Drew McIntyre, as you see on the screen, taking on Joe Hendry. And this was before, if you said his name, he would appear, Joe Hendry.
yeah, he was what he was the
He was like the
hometown
hometown hero.
yeah hometown hero.
Mhm. And you were talking about all the matches you want to get to for our matches of the week, and the match of the week. Let's just clarify: it is throwback matches of the week. We're not watching anything current because we're already doing that anyway. But What
Yeah,
Culture Pro
and
Wrestling?
by no means are they going to be all banner matches. I'm
Right.
just kind of picking a match that kind
This,
of stands out to me. Go, this could be cool to watch, and
yeah,
we'll if it's a bad match, we'll knock it
mhm.
down. But I mean, this was a fun
We're,
little match. It was actually
we're,
cool seeing
we'll see.
Hendry at the start
Yes.
and where Drew was in between. It was just kind of cool.
My thing with this match was it was not a banger by any means. It was a good match. And What Culture Pro Wrestling? I think there's quite a few of those matches that may come up and that you'll suggest for future watches for us. I think I talked about it on the show in the past about What Culture and what they were. Uh, I was a big fan of What Culture. They were like the start of the YouTube wrestling lists with a great cast of characters from Adam Pacitti, Adam Blampier, Ross Tweddle, Sam Driver, Jack the Jobber, and all those such. You can still catch Pacitti, Ross Tweddle, and Jack the Jobber, Sam Driver as well, plus a new cast of characters on Cultaholic. I think we've talked about Cultaholic a couple times here. We love their lists that they do.
Their top 10 videos are some of my favorites.
Most of those are narrated by Adam Pacitti. So yeah, I'm a big fan of those Cultaholic guys. Like I said, when we did the awards video, the idea was it was directly from Cultaholic. I thought it was a cool little video they put together. So I figured, why not? We'll do it. It's not like we're stealing their content because their subscribers compared to our subscribers, yeah, they'll be fine with us taking a little video from them. But I give them all the credit in the world. Those guys are fantastic. I love
Yeah,
watching.
they came up with the concept of giving awards to
Yeah,
fans.
yeah. I just got the idea from them. I was giving them the credit for it. They do really cool watch alongs as well. One of these days we'll do a live watch along. My only concern is figuring out how the hell we're going to watch it without having it on the screen. So
I mean, you put us both full screen, and then you open up a second stream, and then we watch that on a separate screen. I mean, a lot of those watch along videos, we're not actually the guys. You don't see what they're watching; they're just talking about shit, man.
what do you
It'll
mean?
work. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, like it's just cameras on them, and they're watching it on TV. They're not streaming it.
Right, yeah, but we're in a little bit of a different situation here. Since
How so?
what do you mean how so?
How so?
Well, I mean
Your
how
computer's not capable. Your computer's not capable of running two streams at once.
it might be. Are you? I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Wiki, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out. We're not.
We're not dumb.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to consider you may be a little lame, but I mean,
Uh-huh.
in the dumb sense
Uh-huh.
because you just had trouble understanding the concept of how we could possibly do two things at once.
I run a full-fledged
I know. You
racing,
started making me question your abilities.
and I get paid handsomely to do this.
I
And
think they're wasting their money now.
please keep paying
I'm
me.
kidding. Go check his shit out on Speedrome. It's actually pretty fucking good.
Speedrome.tv. Check us out. We will be Live every Saturday when we have races. Anyway, let's talk about this match of the week: Joe Hendry and Drew Galloway. Like I said, it was a good match. It was not a banger by any means. It was not a 5-star match, but it was fairly good. And this just reminded me when I said 5-star match that I was so exhausted I forgot to bring up the fact that we didn't give it a star rating last night when we did this
Oh,
because
that's
we
right.
started that.
That's right.
See, I'm on top of my game now. I'm awake and I'm
Yep.
ready to rock.
Yep.
But
See,
yeah,
I,
this
I
match,
didn't even pick up on it either. So
and we did say out of 10, correct?
that's correct. And I think I
Um,
gave the last one. I gotta start writing this shit down and keeping a
yeah,
list
no
for
kidding.
us. Remind me that. But nonetheless, and then we can have a year-end list of our top-rated matches or
Yeah,
some shit. I don't know.
matches of the
Anyways,
week we watched.
last week I believe I gave the Chelsea Penta match a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I
You went
went
6.5.
6.5, just because
Yeah.
we can't be Dave Meltzer's, man. We can't just give out tens. But yeah, this match was good. Not the greatest thing I've ever seen, not the worst thing I've ever seen. But what made this match so compelling was the finish. There was a ref bump, and Joe Hendry got the upper hand. Joe Hendry actually pinned Drew
Hey,
Galloway
he got
for
the 10 count for the
10 seconds.
championship.
Yeah, 10 seconds pin. Another ref came in. There was a I think you described it best as a backslide roll up
It
type
looked like
deal.
it was going to be a backslide, and then he went into a inverted bridge on him,
Mhm.
but his
That's what it
shoulders,
was.
Drew's shoulders, ended up on the mat as well.
And so the ref that had slid in the ring counted to 3, while at the same time, the referee that was knocked out was awake and ready and also made a 3 count at the exact same time.
Well, he wasn't really awake already. He literally woke up when he's
Yeah.
oh shit one.
So both referees at the same time count to 3, but both of them were giving the win to Hendry or Galloway. So there was no clear winner in the minds of everybody watching. I don't know, who did they give the win to?
Uh,
We didn't
I
get to
don't
we
know. Honestly, we just watched
Yeah,
the match, not understanding the story.
yeah.
It was basically like watching an AEW match, and
Wow.
so nonetheless, apparently the reason this match caught my eye is because I read of the controversial finish, and
Mhm,
apparently it went on and it got sorted out a few months after the fact again. But I think it was a major storyline in WCPW for a little while there.
mhm. Yeah, but that
Nonetheless, we're
finish
not here for the stories. We're here for the matches because we do sometimes like AEW.
yeah, no, I do. I if you want, we've said it. Alright. But yeah, so what
Can I say it a
would
third time?
no, you have plenty of
Okay.
time,
Okay.
to
We'll
say it
get to
right
Dynamite soon enough, I'm sure. I'll probably say it another 10 times tonight.
now. So with this match, with that being said, what would you have gave this? What will you give this star rating for this What Culture Pro Wrestling match?
So I popped a couple times because I was like, when the fuck did Drew McIntyre Galloway ever do a tombstone before? He went
Mhm,
to attempt the tombstone on Joe, and I was like, holy shit. And then he also did the sit out pile driver, which was really fucking cool too. I kind of wish that WWE would, take their skirt off on that one and allow the guys to do pile drivers again. It looks like it might be allowed for certain situations because obviously let Cody do the vertebreaker a while back there, but nonetheless, I give this match a 5.5. Overall, it wasn't like a banner. It had a couple cool pop moments and the finish was cool, but outside of that, yeah, I'll give this one a 5.5.
That's actually exactly what I was going to give it. I was actually going to go lower though. I was thinking a 5 because it was in the middle of the road for me. I'll be a little different than you. I'll go 5. Because it was. I look at the scale of 10 as 1, 0, or 1 being not good at all. Terrible match. 5, I consider obviously average match. It was a average ish match. 10 being one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go 5 on this one. It was a good match. The finish was what I think what got us talking, and it was what got the internet talking. So, uh, yeah, uh, never seen a finish like that before.
Yeah, I was trying to think back after the fact and going, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Double pin combination, ref knockout bump. Like all the things have been done before, but not all at once. You know what I mean? So it
Mhm.
was kind of cool.
All right. Well, with that being said, what do I get to watch next week with you?
Next week, I will be bringing you a video from Westside Extreme Wrestling. It was a company that opened up in 2016. It's the first German wrestling academy. They put on a match back on March 4th, 2017. Matt Riddle versus Walter, aka Gunther.
Yeah. And obviously, spoiler, we talked about the fact that we tried to do this last night, so I already knew what the match was, but I was trying to keep some interest. I am very
And why
intrigued
you
to watch this.
ruining it? You trying
I
to keep
don't
some interest and then you ruin it afterwards.
don't care. I am very
I do,
intrigued for that match though.
asshole.
Riddle, Gunther, this had to have been right after Riddle left MMA because he was obviously not in WWE yet. Nor was Gunther Walter.
Matt Riddle's last MMA fight. I mean, you could talk or something. I mean,
Sorry, I was checking my phone on some things. So yeah, Gunther. What year? Say this again. What year is this?
2007, March
2007.
uh,
Said
17,
17.
March 4th.
Uh,
Last fight I have, Titan FC 27, Titan Fighting Championship 27, February 28th, 2014. He won over Michael Kuper with a submission, guillotine choke.
okay, so this was 3 years after his MMA career ended. Um, so I mean, I assume he had made a name. Everybody kind of knew who he was from the MMA circle. But yeah, Matt Riddle, Gunther. I'm sure it's a great match. And what promotion was this again?
WXW, Westside Extreme Wrestling. It's a German promotion.
Interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that one. We will watch that before next week's episode. With that being said, it is RK's favorite segment of the week. Or sorry, my bad, RK. This is your second favorite segment of the week because your favorite segment is shitting on AEW. Let's get into it though.
That's not like entirely true. Most of the time, though.
Let us get into it. It is the news, the rumors, the innuendo of Top Rope Renegades. And as you can see on your screen here, the news that broke last week was the Indiana Sports Corps has secured the Royal Rumble 2025, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania right here in my hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana, and I cannot wait for it. AEW Dynamite viewers took a massive dive last week. Was Kelly Cuoco
Yeah.
Kyoko responsible? We'll discuss. And is Shane McMahon thinking about joining AEW? Rumors are he has spoken to talent in the company. And I wanted to add something. Apparently, somebody asked Tony Khan about Shane McMahon, and he said he's welcome to come anytime he wants. Why would you say that? Why would you say that,
Because
Tony?
Tony is a fucking idiot.
I
Uh,
Shane had nothing to do with the Vince stuff, as far as we know. I don't think he had anything to do with it. I don't think him. I don't think Stephanie. They had no clue that their dad was a absolute psycho, right? Allegedly.
allegedly, still. I mean,
But
it's not looking good, but
what I mean is they didn't have any part to play in the allegations. But what I'm saying is that last name, it is tainted. It is tarnished now, sadly, and it sucks for
not
Stephanie.
brought you to you by Nos, but you know,
It sucks for Stephanie. It sucks for Shane. It sucks for their kids. Vince McMahon's grandkids have to go to school now, and their friends at school are probably like, "Dude, your grandpa's a fucking weirdo." Like, I feel so bad for the McMahon last name. If I'm luckily Stephanie and Triple H's kids don't have to have her last name. They obviously have his, but Shane's don't. So that's a bummer. But you got to stay away from the last name McMahon. Do I think that
man,
it
Vince
would be?
McMahon Senior rolling in his grave, man.
Do I think that AEW's viewership may actually go up if Shane McMahon showed up for a couple weeks? I do think it would. But you can't have the McMahons. You can't have that name on your show. I just don't see it. But that's crazy to me. That's all I got for reading the headlines here. I'm sure you either have something to add to that or you're going to get right into it and hit me with the news.
I'm going to take us back about 5 minutes and just let you know that Matt Riddle's first pro wrestling match was at Evolve number 49, October 17th, 2015, against Jonathan Gresham.
Okay. Gresham. Shout out to Jonathan Gresham. He is, I think that's who is married to Jordan Grace. So Jonathan Gresham. Shout out to John.
I hope you're a big dude. Anyways.
He is.
Oh, well, then he's good. I mean, she would kill me.
I
Just
could. Yeah. All right.
news, rumor, innuendo, week of June 21st to 27th, with a little bit of 28 sprinkled in there because a little bit of news released today that ties into a story that I was going to mention anyways. But we're going to start with Uncle Howdy's victims from Raw, the Wyatt 6 debut. A lot of people are speculating, did we see Carmelo? Did we see Gunther? Was that Ivar back there? I mean, so no, they were all extras that were brought in specifically for that moment. None of them are slated for stories or anything, which is kind of a bummer. Except Chad Cable did come back from the dead. So
I have to
there's
pause you
that.
because you did it. This is not a plug for Mountain Dew, but this is America, and we have our own flavors of Mountain Dew because we're American, we're fat. Carry on.
America.
Liberty Chill.
Okay, honestly, we probably should be asking for,
I
a little
just
bit of money
read.
from these
I
people.
totally missed this. Mountain Dew Liberty Chill has 50 flavors in one Mountain Dew. Anyway, carry on.
There is only one company that can mix flavors and win, and that's Dr. Pepper.
Thank you.
Nonetheless,
The number 2, by the way, this
number
has nothing to
2
do with wrestling.
behind Coke, because Coke is the best
Dr. Pepper
in more
overtook
than one way.
they
Pause.
overtook Pepsi in the most popular soda. Number two in the rankings.
There's actually
One.
there was a pretty funny video I watched a while back. It's this guy. He's like, only America. And Dr. Pepper. Everybody has that one friend who loves Dr. Pepper. You know the guy.
Oh,
The
yeah.
guy that wakes up in the morning and drinks Dr. Pepper all day long. I'm pretty sure they got to number 2 by only the 10 people that actually drink it just because they drink so much goddamn Dr. Pepper.
I love Dr. Pepper, but I'm not one of those people.
It is pretty good. We were actually talking about Pop the other day. What was it? McDonald's Barks root beer hits different.
And their Coke.
Yeah, just hits different. It's
And
definitely
their Sprite, if you're a Sprite person, their Sprite is, and this is the argument that always happens, I think their Sprite is spicy, is what has been described to me, and I get it, but like I don't, I don't know. I think it's just extra carbonated is the word you're
it's the
looking for.
carbonation I would think
But
they're going for. It's just
somebody
like
told me
it hits
that
different.
it's spicy. It just hits different. I'm like, spicy's not the words you're using, but I'll go with it.
Anyways, now we're talking about hockey, Pop.
Yeah.
We're not talking about wrestling. So I mean, anyways, nonetheless, yeah, none of the victims of the Wyatt 6 outside of Chad Gable, who came back from the dead, are expected to be in storyline. They were all extras. This is kind of tied into the news that I had yesterday, then got more news released today. AEW and Warner Brothers. It is believed that a deal is to be announced very soon, as in pretty imminent time in here. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if they maybe tie it into Forbidden Door somehow or something, but
I assume that the deal is probably the same that they're getting now, right?
I'm kind of hoping that they go to Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers could probably give them the resources to put an online catalog of all their shows and shit and
Are
have
they
like a
not?
streaming service maybe.
Wait,
Just pause.
what am I
Just
getting?
pause.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
then when we watch Dynamite during the week and after the first 5 minutes we're going, this fucking sucks, we can go back to like 2021 and watch good episodes of AEW.
Am I getting confused? I think I totally got confused. Who are they
You
currently
are
with?
confused. TBS, TNT.
Is that Turner? It's Turner, right?
Turner, yeah.
So Warner Brothers, what television network is that?
I don't know, Warner Brothers. Discovery.
Okay. You keep talking. I'm gonna do a little Google search here.
Is TNT owned by Warner Brothers? I don't fucking know. What am I talking about? Premiere episode of NXT on CW, which I believe is in September sometime. Early plans are to have it held in a major arena instead of the Performance Center, kind of like a TV pay-per-view per se. So I think that's kind of cool. And I mean, as long as it's not held at the Apex Center, I'll be good with that one. So AEW ratings last week, they took a nosedive.
Okay,
500.
sorry. So
Tell me to
TNT
talk. Tell me to stop. Tell me to
TNT
talk.
is owned by Warner
I
Brothers
kind of thought
Discovery,
they were.
so
That's why I started thinking about it.
they'll stay on TNT. I didn't know that for some reason, but carry on. Yeah,
So
sorry.
nonetheless, back to where hopefully they can get a streaming service soon and we can watch good episodes again. Um, Tied into the AEW ratings from last week, what were they? 502, 508,000, whatever it was, 512,000. Nonetheless, around
502,000.
so barely breaking 500,000. Everybody attributed it to Black Panther being their lead-in instead of Big Bane.
Yeah,
I want to make fun of it, but their numbers did come back this most previous Wednesday a little bit, but
and
it
that's
wasn't. I
okay,
mean,
dude. The four pillars are back. That's why the ratings are up. And by those four pillars, I mean Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, and Raj from Big Bang Theory, because Big Bang Theory was back this week, baby. AEW's back, baby.
those are still not numbers to brag about. You're still under 700,000.
They improved a lot in a week
I
span.
mean, the
Next
Raw still pulled in around 1.8 million viewers with the Stanley Cup Game 7 final happening at the same time, which happened to be one of the most viewed Stanley Cup final games of all time.
yeah, the fact
And
that
Canada, it's kind of basically like our Independence Day is the Stanley Cup and like the whole thing. And so I don't maybe just put on a better product and people just won't dip randomly from week to week.
the fact that they pulled that number with all that's that's a big deal. And we talk about it every time we talk about the ratings is how many people are like us and watching it on DVR?
Oh god, when do we ever watch it live?
We haven't watched a single fucking event live. We don't even watch the pay-per-views live.
No,
This Sunday may be the first time we watch a pay-per-view live.
I gotta work on Sunday.
It starts at like 7, 8.
For you?
Yeah. What time is that for you? 4?
4?
Well, it's AEW, dude. You can come home. We can fire this up, and you can go cook food and come back. It'll be fine.
No, we're
You
not
know,
watching Dynamite from this week.
Jesus Christ. Carry on.
Oh shit. I beat Dave Meltzer. I did. I beat Dave
I
Meltzer.
remember this. I remember this.
I beat Dave Meltzer. Eat it. He observed the observer.
The
I
Observer
guess he did.
observed.
I guess he did observe. Gigi Dolan has been out of action due to a torn ACL. I broke this news because I stole from somebody else like 3 weeks ago.
So the
Not 4.
question is, RK, you stalking Gigi Dolan? How you know she's got a?
Man, if I knew where Gigi was, I would not be here right now.
That's wild. That's a wild statement that you just made right there.
What? I like Gigi. I'd ask her out to dinner and get shut down, and then
Oh yeah.
ask her again, and probably have to get a restraining order. Nonetheless, we're gonna continue on. WWE is negotiating possible partnerships with Mexico's AAA and Puerto Rico's WWC. Puerto Rico's WWC is actually the company that Carlito is the 17-time champion of.
Yep.
So
That's what I knew as soon as you said it. I was like, that sounds so familiar. Oh yeah,
yeah,
Carlito.
yeah. His dad only owned the company, so
His
whatever.
dad would be
But
disappointed that he is a part of the Judgment Day now.
there was a time where his dad was thought to be the murderer of who was it, Bruiser Brody, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, crazy story. Go watch Dark Side of the Ring Bruiser Brody episode. It's actually kind of fucking wild. Ultimo Guerrero. He was on Collision. He was at Collision. He wasn't expected to wrestle. Last minute was told that they wanted him to wrestle against Okada. He did not have his mask or wrestling gear with him. They had to mad scramble to get him a mask and to get him ready for the match with Okada. And during the match, and I actually had to go back to watch it because I read about it and I thought it was kind of funny. There's like 5 or 6 times that you can see him just fucking with the mask. It was all fucked up and everything. And
The finish
yeah,
of this match was hilarious. When he
yeah,
took the finisher and the mask basically like popped off in the air and landed, it
yeah,
landed right back on him, and he's like scrambling to get it on.
yeah.
That
It
was
was
pretty.
pretty good. It was pretty funny to watch. But afterwards, Guerrero said that he'd keep the mask as a keepsake and as a thank you to AEW for at least been able to get something together quickly.
Speaking of
Hey, next time Tony Khan, maybe tell your talent that they're going to be wrestling when they show up.
not kidding. Well, nobody knows what they're doing until the day of, from what the rumors may say. But speaking of professional wrestlers wearing masks, Rey Mysterio did an interview with Chris Van Fleet. It was Chris Van Fleet's 619th episode, so he felt that 619 Rey Mysterio. They got into the topic of all of his masks, and Rey revealed that he has probably over 500 masks in his collection.
Dude, we gotta be doing this for like another 10 years to get to 619 episodes.
Well, we do one a week. He puts out a couple. Yeah, Ray said he has like over 500 masks in his collection, which I was like, that's cool. And he's got specific masks for obviously doing his job in wrestling, but when he does meet and greets and all that stuff, he's got one that just zips up. And he said he still likes to hide his face in public, not from like older people that know him and want to get an autograph, but for the kids. He's still trying to keep kayfabe alive a little bit for the kids. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
I mean, have you ever seen Rey Mysterio without the mask though?
Yeah.
So weird looking dude.
Whatever. What you got? What's next?
I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I make fun of people's appearances.
No, well,
No, I'm just kidding. Rey Mysterio's a legend. But actually, go back to like WCW days when he wrestled without a mask. Man, did he look like he was only 9 years old.
Damn, you just said that. What's funny is, so WCW did the match where he lost the mask and then he wrestled without it. When he came to WWE, he wasn't wrestling with them. He didn't have the mask anymore. And so he came to WWE and he just assumed, I'm just showing up, no mask and whatever. And WWE was like, where's your mask? Put your mask on. And he's like, wait, you want me to? And he's like, yeah, we want you in the mask. And he's like, all right. And he said,
"We want you to be the lucha legend that you are, motherfucker."
And he said that he, at first when he didn't have the mask, it was weird, but then he got used to it. And then now, if he wrestles without a mask, it would probably be just completely foreign to him.
It'd be weird to everybody. It just would not feel right at all. Like just watching those WCW clips, it's like, no.
And I know
put the mask back on.
I know we're just dwelling a little bit on Ray here, but this is a question for you. Do you think Ray's final matches against Dominic's a retirement match?
Yes, actually, I just read today. Actually, he wants his final match in Mexico. He wants it to be against Dom and Santos. He wants it to be a mask versus hair match.
Okay.
He wants to go up against Dominic and Santos for his final match in Mexico.
If that's what he wants, that's what he wants. If I was pitching it to him at WrestleMania, you versus Dom, you can do hair versus mask, and obviously Dom will come out on top, and I think that would be pretty cool. But hey, whatever he wants. It's Rey Mysterio.
Does Rey go out? Does Rey go out without his mask though?
I think Dom beats him, and then like he takes the mask off, and then there's a moment of, oh shit, Ray's retiring.
Human.
Like we know this. Yeah, he's human. And Dom kind of like human element does take effect. And it's like, oh shit, this was Rey Mysterio's final match in WWE. And then maybe like you have Dom like kind of look at the mask for a second and then look at his dad and then just go over and put it back on his dad and give him a hug and they ride off into the sunset.
Yeah. However it happens, it does need to be Rey versus Dom for his final match.
100%.
Has to be the passing of the torch per se.
Yeah. But Dom is never going to be a lucha legend like that. He's not. No. That's not his style.
But Rey even said recently that Dominic Mysterio in 4 years has grown as a wrestler and as a persona more than Rey could have ever done in his first 4 years of wrestling.
Dom's, and we'll talk about it when we get to Raw, man. He's on fire. Him and Liv. That story is probably the second best story right now in my eyes. Second or third, but yeah. So we'll see.
It is kind of crazy though. You go back 4 years and you watch some of Dom's first matches with Rey, and he does look just like a child, a kid, a baby. And now you look at him, he's like, yeah, he looks like a wrestler. He looks like, I mean, it's an obvious thing that he's doing, but he looks a lot like Eddie Guerrero.
Yes, he does. That's his real father. Anyway.
No, he lost the match.
There was no DNA test.
All future SummerSlams are believed to be moving to the 2-night program. and potentially the Royal Rumble will be doing the same in the future, is the current rumor. Obviously, in Cleveland this year, it's a 2-night SummerSlam,
No, it's not.
but is it not?
It's a one night.
Oh, the Minnesota is the first 2-night. That's
Yeah,
right.
so that's what I was going to say. I assume after the Minnesota one is when they'll
Yeah,
go to that format.
yeah.
Royal Rumble 2 nights makes no sense to me. I'll be honest. That doesn't make
Unless
much
you,
sense to me. Unless you're trying to build it and you do both Rumble matches on like 2 nights.
that's what I would think is the only way you could do it, is have both Rumble match, and maybe you could have a little bit more time allowed for them and do more with them.
I don't like that, to be honest with you, for the Rumble. Mania
Hey, just a
makes
rumor.
total
Just a
sense.
rumor.
Fine.
TW Insider.
Yeah,
That's just a rumor.
Mania makes total sense to me, obviously, and it
Hey,
has.
if it doesn't happen, Dave Meltzer would say they just pivoted their plans.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. SummerSlam, I think, definitely makes sense to be 2 nights. They are
It's their
making it.
number 2 show. It's their number 2 show.
They are making it to be their number 2 show, for sure, without a doubt. Now, with it being 2 nights, and I put this together kind of. I heard it a little bit on a podcast, and they were talking about it, and then I was like, no, they're wrong. What they're doing, I think, is they're going to try and make King and Queen of the Ring feel similar and of importance to the Rumble, where the winner of the Royal Rumble gets the main event
Yeah.
match at WrestleMania. The winner of the King and Queen of the Ring now get a title match at SummerSlam. So, looking at it that way, they're trying to get, what we talk about, that lull post Mania. You're always going to have that, but they want to get back on the horse quicker. And with having this new idea of, okay, King and Queen of the Ring, we'll build to that, and they'll make that a big deal going forward, bigger deal than it was this year, because of the implications that it has for SummerSlam. So yeah, I mean, WWE, we've said it way too many times, but they're on fire right now, and people are saying they're going to slow down eventually. Where? When? After SummerSlam, there's going to be a short lull. Okay. Well, we're going to see the story that comes out of SummerSlam, and you're going to be like, oh shit, I gotta tune in.
I can't remember what I read today. It was one of the top talents were saying they don't really want to be involved in any main storylines right now, because all the main storylines right now are on fire, and they got all these other storylines that are just waiting to get started at some point. And it's just like, yeah, you got top guys waiting to get top storylines, but you have all your other top. It's just like they'll just keep rolling new storylines. I don't
That
think they're slowing down
is
anytime soon.
yeah, that's crazy to think about. There's just stories chilling, just waiting. Like,
Yeah,
once we pay off one of these, and with WWE the way they do things, it's possible that one of these storylines that pays off could just kind of entangle itself with the new one that they're just waiting to get ready to get going. It's endless here, and I think Triple H. People were criticizing Triple H for saying this, but he said WWE is cinema about pro wrestling,
yeah.
and people were like,
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just not pro. That's not right. Just tune into AEW. We're pro. Yeah, listen, WWE is wicked.
If I went to the movies and I sat down and it was just the fight between the Avengers and Thanos, and then it was over, I'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah, right, exactly.
No, I want all the build up to that shit and then have the fight between it.
It's a story, man, and I get it. And CM Punk again. Tell me when he's telling lies. AEW doesn't seem to be in the business of making money, moving merch, and selling tickets. They just want to get with their buddies and put on some good matches. And they
Yeah.
do that. They do. They put on good matches. But this isn't the indie scene where you're just chilling and somebody records it on a cheap ass camera for YouTube. No, this is live television weekly, and there's the exact reason why you're losing viewership when you were hitting almost a mil last year. You were, there, and it's like,
I read
why?
they're down 25% from the same 26-week section from this time last year.
That's insane. That's just truly insane. You have got to do
While
something to get the
while Raw,
audience.
SmackDown, NXT are all on par or above.
You got to do something if you're AEW. You
But they
got
did do something. They got Okada and
no, like, you're
Osprey
you're
and
you're gonna
Mercedes.
you're gonna be a dick and you're gonna talk your shit, and that's fine. But I'm being genuine when I say this. They have got to do something because
But they
they're
did.
yeah. They
They
didn't
got
though.
the best wrestlers in the fucking world,
What did
literally.
that do for them?
Nothing.
Exactly. Why? Because they just got them. All they
They
did
were
is
needle movers, though. They
all
were
they
needle
said no,
movers.
they weren't though.
We get them. Build it, and they will come.
Yeah,
Fucking Kevin Costner, this shit apparently
uh-huh. That's how it worked. Your biggest rating was because you had CM Punk footage put out. CM Punk is still your biggest fucking draw. That's the
of the year.
problem.
Quite
That's the
literally, it
problem.
was their highest rating.
Why was CM Punk a big draw? Because there
He's
was
CM Punk.
it was a real situation that happened, and it was almost like it's kind of like a story about it. About, oh my god, we want to see this CM Punk stuff. I know, like, it really did happen. We're building anticipation for something that we're going to air on TV. It's almost like they were telling a story to air the CM Punk stuff. And the individual that involved, they didn't even name Punk. They didn't even say his name, but we knew who it was because why? Because they built CM Punk into a superstar. Or sorry,
Yep.
WWE built him into a superstar. He made his name.
CM Punk built CM Punk into a superstar.
Fair
Don't
enough. Fair enough. I apologize.
don't get that twisted.
Phil, I apologize if you ever watch this. I did not mean it in that way. You are the guy. Go Blackhawks, go Cubs, Chicago for life. Anyway, what's your next news story?
Anyways, nonetheless, you're right about the story though, because right now there's times where you and I question: is Drew shooting on CM Punk right now? Like, is he really this? Like, there's moments there where you're just like, they're blurring the lines, and that's what people want. Well, that's what I want. I want to be like, holy fuck, is somebody gonna get fucked up tonight? Not, oh, they're fighting. Cool. Why?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Why? Why is one of our top guys wrestling somebody I never heard of before? Anyways, love you,
uh,
MJF. I really do. Come to WWE, please. Dear God, please come to WWE. Brooks Jensen. He will be apparently doing some appearances at indie shows to help sell his NXT storyline. At what point in your life did you ever think that WWE would say, "Hey, go wrestle some indie shows while still signed to us, just help us build a storyline"?
under Triple H. It would have never happened under McMahon. But under Triple H, it seems like the reins have just been kind of loosened on certain things that were frowned upon years past. And maybe it isn't just I guess Triple H is Shawn Michaels because he is the one running NXT. But I'm sure he had to like be, hey Hunter, is this a good idea? And Triple H was like,
He's
do
like,
it.
Sean, I trust you.
Right, and
You're the goat.
it's really really good, this Brooks Jensen story. What's gonna make me laugh is if it's like, what if it is like he's not signed and he's doing this on his own? But then it's like, how the fuck does he keep showing up? you
How
know,
does he keep getting in? How does
like,
security not
I'm not
stop
gonna
him?
sit here and work, and I'm not gonna play the video because I don't want to go through all that again. But he did post a video on his Twitter where he was like walking outside in the streets of Orlando. I think after he
Shoot,
got thrown
or
out,
kayfabe,
he's
not
like,
kayfabe.
is it a shoot? Is it a work? Is it kayfabe? You'll never know, and neither will I. Ha ha ha! And he just boom. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is good. This is really
yeah.
good.
The Twitter post from his wife last week going, "Hey, if anybody's seen him, can
Yeah,
you tell me where the fuck he is?"
yeah.
It's fucking good shit they're doing right now, man. Like,
And she give her some credit because there was people in the comments that were commenting like kind of some shit that's like, bro, what the fuck? Why would you comment that? And she didn't like break character or nothing to be like, clearly it's for the show. She was like, that's not funny. Why would you laugh and make fun of that? Like, I'm like, good on her. Good on her for
they're
going.
doing
Like,
it. They're
it's good
cooking,
shit.
man. They're
Good
cooking.
shit.
Fucking Chef Michael's just
I don't,
after them.
and this is the fun part about it.
Guess who showed up on TNA tonight?
Oh, I think I know this. I forgot who. Wait, hold. Uh, I just saw this.
He's a son of somebody.
Yeah, Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey.
There you go. It's
Charlie
happening,
Dempsey.
people. It's happening. And you know what? I read on a dirt sheet instantly. He's like, "Oh, this is the big name that goes over TNA." Fuck off. The fact that it's even happening is something that wouldn't have happened
Yeah,
2 years ago.
yeah, yeah. I don't know where the Brooks Jensen storyline is going to end, and that's the fun part.
It's here for it. I'm actually over ribbing you on it now, and I'm with it. But I
Yeah.
had fun for a couple weeks there, going, I
Well,
don't think that's him, man.
that's what the biggest part that irritated me with was that you knew what it really was, and I know you well enough to know that this is the storyline that you would fucking love, but yet you want to sit here and go, I don't think it's him, which was completely pissing me off to no end. But what's your
Ah.
next story? What's your next story here?
Kayla Braxton, there were rumors that she was going to go to AEW, and she quickly shot that down. And
Yeah.
you are the best at telling this.
And as we speak, it is my time, 10:48 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. So she just finished up her final appearance for WWE on SmackDown. So all the best to Kayla Braxton. She's awesome. I love Kayla. She was probably one of my favorites. You know, her I really like Kayla. So I hope whatever she's doing is great. But her tweet, and it was mainly Dave Meltzer and Wrestling Observer that put out that she's had discussions with AEW, and of course she's a great name. So they've talked, and we'll see what happens. Blah blah blah. She says the support from you guys has been overwhelming. I'm so thankful for you. But I want to make one thing very clear as I enter my final week in the WWE. If I wanted to keep working in professional wrestling, I wouldn't be walking away from the largest wrestling company in the world. Nice try, Rumor Weeds, with a kissy face. And nice try, Jan. So clearly that was a shot at all the dirt sheets. Are like, she's going to talk to AEW. She's going to go to AEW now, probably. And she's like, no, why would I leave the biggest company in the world?
Also, I'd honestly be a little bit pissed off at AEW if they did that, because Renee needs all the screen time.
But, and this is not, I agree with you. Renee's fantastic at her job. But does it not feel like there should be one other person back there with her? Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I'm happy to listen Renee talk
Yeah, I
nonstop, man.
love Renee.
WWE Creative has ways, and they are ready to insert Rhea Ripley into any of the storylines going on right now, even if she is not ready to wrestle. So I think it's a good chance we're going to be seeing Rhea pretty damn
What do you
soon here.
think? Money in the Bank?
I'm thinking Money in the Bank.
And I think I said this to you. Maybe it was when we recorded this the first go around last night. But I think Money in the Bank could set up pretty big for, unless, and I haven't checked my phone, and this is going to be very hard. I cannot open my phone just in case. Rhea Ripley could show up at Money in the Bank as well as Roman Reigns to set the scenes for SummerSlam. I said this to you previously, was what if Roman comes back on SmackDown because they're in the Garden? We haven't watched that yet. We're gonna watch it after this, but be interesting. But yeah, the fact that you have two massive names in Rhea Ripley and probably the biggest name that hasn't showed back up yet in Roman Reigns, just waiting and ready to go whenever they want to, because Roman can just say, "Okay, I'm ready," and boom,
Yeah.
right back in the scene.
Well, I think I told you this last week, or we were just talking about, but as long as Roman has a contract with the WWE, no matter what he does, if he shows up, if he doesn't show up, as long as he's under contract,
Yeah.
he is the highest paid professional wrestler in the world. He's making $15 million a year as long as he's signed to the WWE,
And I can
whether he shows
honestly,
up or not. So honestly, if he says, I'm ready, guys, they're like, we got to start.
I can say that now, like right now as we speak, he deserves every cent of that. Um, if you would have asked me this question 5-6 years ago, I'd be like, "You're fucking crazy. He doesn't deserve that." All they're trying to do is push him down our throats. We don't want Roman Reigns around. And then all it took was that heel turn, and all it took was Paul Heyman by his side, and he became the Roman Reigns we know and love now. And when he comes back, that pop's going to be fantastic. He is going to be. He a babyface when he comes back?
He's an in-betweener.
Definitely. That's fair. That's a fair way to look at it.
He's a Stone Cold. He's a Rock. He's an in-betweener.
And I think the same goes for Rhea in a sense, because she's not gonna come back and be a happy-go-lucky heel. She's gonna be Rhea fucking Ripley still. Or sorry, let me say that correctly. Rhea Bloody Ripley. But uh, she's not gonna be all flowers and that shit. She's still gonna be Rhea. But people were already cheering Rhea
Well, the way
before.
they have Liv positioned right now, you need the
Right.
baby face versus the heel.
Yeah, but
So,
what I'm saying is she's not gonna change anything
but
about.
it's an in-betweener. It's really honestly in the history of wrestling, who's the most over wrestlers? It's the one that
Mhm.
hovers right on that fucking line.
Right. And since we did bring up Roman, I guess we should announce that with sad news, Roman's father, Sika, from the Wild Samoans, Sika passed away earlier this week. So, and I heard, I was listening to Cultaholic, shout out to those guys again. And Jack the Jobber kind of said this, and he's like, I don't want this to come across as like, you know, like cringy or anything like that, but or in a bad way. But in a sense, he said like Sika passing away now is almost like a breath of fresh air for Roman, as if because he's not on screen, he's not doing anything, he can process his father's death and all that. Whereas, what if his dad passed away in the middle of the storyline with Cody Rhodes? You know, but I don't think it would have changed anything because Roman Reigns is a freaking professional.
I saw a video yesterday or today of Sika celebrating Roman's first championship win 4 years ago, and he's
Mhm.
just in the crowd just going nuts for his kid, and it's
Mhm.
just like, oh,
Yeah,
that's touching.
and he was the one that put the I forget what they call him around Roman's neck after I
Yeah,
think it was Hell in a Cell. Oh yeah, so Sika passed away, and you know Roman is a WWE company man because the next day he was still at a charity thing with children's hospitals. Like it's just yeah, Roman is that the guy.
he's
He is
he's
the
top
guy.
dog. He's
We
top
can,
dog.
and this is a conversation we'll have to have eventually one day or soon when he returns. Who's bigger, Roman or Cody? And I think when Roman comes back, we may learn who's bigger. It's gonna be
I think when he comes back, we're going to finally potentially see the Homelander Cody come out.
I want that so bad, man. I want Homelander Cody Rhodes so
If you
fucking
really think about it, go back to his last few months at AEW, and he might have, I think he said that he was aiming towards that angle or whatever, but nonetheless, he kind of was starting to pull off that Homelander type
we're getting
aspect.
we're getting little bits of it if you pay attention to him. Just tiny bits. Little tiny bits
He's not a
from
bad guy, though. Really,
he's
when you
not.
think about Homelander, he's not a bad guy.
Well,
He's, he's
is he just
he
he's
blurs the
justified?
lines.
Yeah.
He blurs the lines.
What I'm saying about Cody is in that match with AJ Styles, the I Quit match, the question
Yes.
was, can Cody go to that dark place? And
Yep.
he can. So there's little
Yep.
seeds of it, and I can't wait to watch SmackDown and see if there's more little seeds, and we'll see what's to come. But yeah, Homelander Cody Rhodes,
Honestly, the thing
beast.
I'm waiting for the most when it does happen, and it's got to happen, but is listening to all the internet marks cry about how he's fucking losers. Nobody's
Well,
happy about anything ever. Oh,
mm-mm.
he's babyface. Everybody hates him as babyface. Goes heel. Oh, everyone hates him as a
Man,
heel. It's fucking fuck.
I almost wanted to delete Twitter. Like I can't. It is such a very toxic place, and it will piss you off to no end. What else you got?
Ludwig Kaiser in his match against Braun Breaker, which we'll break down on Raw this past week. Yeah, anyways, unless he got injured in that match.
Mhm.
So next week on Raw, Ilya Dragunov is finally getting his Money in the Bank qualifier match.
Yeah, you replaced Gable, and then they're like, no, Gable's alive. And then now he
Somehow. Do you see
is.
that picture Gable posted of the zombie rising from the grave?
That was from Freddie or Jason, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. So yeah, Chad Gable's alive.
Satnam Singh, he has been removed from the AEW roster page and he's been moved to the broadcasters page. So we're getting a big motherfucker on commentary backstage. Maybe that's Renee's partner now.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really not newsworthy at all, but I love hitting you with the genders and the Satnams, I guess. I don't know.
I got nothing against Satnam. You want to know why? Because I know absolutely fuck all
Because
about
he's a
him.
big son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
Um oh yeah, news. And you'll chime in on this one, but Pat McAfee's not being at Raw this week was not storyline related, and we got some unfortunate news that his father-in-law, his wife's father, passed away shortly after the show.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'm gonna pitch my thing and look like an asshole, but I just have to because I think it's kind of
I know what
good.
you're gonna pitch, and it's kind of a that is towing the line what you're gonna pitch. Very much so. But yeah, I think Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez need to apologize to Pat McAfee and his family because they were on their Wrestling Observer podcast and they said, yeah, Pat not being at Monday Night Raw was totally 100% part of the story with the Wyatt Six because of the glitches that were happening on his show during the week and this, that, and the other. Now, listen, yes, I think that if Pat would have been there would have been something involved with him with the Wyatt Six, because the Wyatt Six gave that we'll get to it when we get to Raw, the cardboard box addressed to Pat McAfee. It wasn't addressed to Michael Cole, but Pat wasn't there because of the death of his father-in-law. And Meltzer and Alvarez were so certain. They knew. They know. They know everything, that Pat wasn't there because of the storyline with the Wyatt Six. So we'll see what happens. And this is my biggest issue with
Hey,
not
hey,
just
hold up. Creative changed its plans.
yeah, yeah, sure. Um, this is my biggest issue with Meltzer and Alvarez and even Sean Ross sometimes. Any news outlet, not just professional wrestling, and I mean this in political media. I was a political producer, radio producer for a year and a half. And let me tell you something, politics drains you to no end. It literally drained me. But
Yeah, look at
every
Biden.
let's not get political on here, but Jesus Christ, that fucking guy runs our country, my country, not yours. Well, you got Trudeau, but anyway,
So much better.
so much. Media outlets and professional wrestling does this, and news, all of them. They don't ever think to get the fucking story right. They just want to be first. They want to be ha ha he he. We got the story done first. Look at us. We're so smart. All you're doing is making assumptions of situations and hoping and praying it's right. And then you, as you continue to say, uh, in professional wrestling, Meltzer can just use the excuse, well, they pivoted, they changed their mind. No, you just wanted to be first and look like some fucking superstar, you fucking jackass. I hate Dave Meltzer, man. There's not a lot of people, hate's a strong word, but truly over this past year, the shit that comes out of Dave Meltzer's mouth is so stupid and idiotic. It's just him thinking he is the greatest thing on earth, that his shit don't stink. And Brian Alvarez is his stupid, ugly ass Robin to the Batman. And I don't even want to compare him to superheroes, but come on, like those guys are just dumb. Like you don't even wait for any sort of report to come out. Like, why can't we just wait until WWE reports it? We love talking about the news and the rumors and innuendo. It's fun. It gets kick out of it because in this day and age, everybody wants to get in and know this,
Well,
that, and the other. I miss when shit was a surprise, man. I miss
yeah,
when we didn't
100%.
know. And
That's why
nowadays,
I was
it's
gonna
just
I was gonna chime in and say, like, look at our screen here. It says news, rumors, and innuendo. Everything we're saying right now, honestly, we're just getting it off other people's fucking
right.
sites and we're just relaying the info.
I
We're not saying it is absolutely 100% true. We'll never claim that. It's right in the title. This is a rumor and innuendo. Like, some of it is news because it does come straight from WWE, but
mhm.
most of it is we're honestly just speculating as much as anybody else.
I
And you
wish,
know what? We like to do it because that's what wrestling fans do.
and yeah, we do, and I like the news, the rumors, and innuendo. But I wish we were in the time period where we could take the rumors away, and the news comes straight from the source of the companies, and the innuendo is us speculating on what's to come, because
100%. And all the surprises and everything, like when Edge returned Royal Rumble 2000.
luckily I knew nothing about that. I didn't see anything on the internet that day. I just tuned in, and I was genuinely shocked. But I know what you're gonna say, so go ahead.
Yeah, like you could, if you look back at that and in the crowd, people had the signs for Edge. It's like, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
You
And it
don't.
ruins the surprise. It ruins the surprise. Like, I'd rather almost like not have the internet and watch wrestling because, yeah, like when Roman Reigns come back, I'm sure we'll know a week beforehand that he's coming back next week. I hope not.
Sometimes, man.
I
Sometimes
hope not.
though,
Like CM Punk's return at Survivor Series, I was 100% sure, but I wasn't. And you're like, it's not happening. Nobody knew that it was happening.
no, 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 they didn't. They didn't. And there was actually news outlets that were like, he's never going to go back to WWE, and they were standing on that. So they were standing on that. They were so
But
confident.
you remember this is before we were even
Yeah,
talking about doing a
we were
show together. But
watching, and this was
I
when
was
we
like,
were.
it's happening, dude. It's fucking happening. You're like, it's not happening, man. Look,
This
it's
was
done.
when
It's
we
going to
had
black. I'm like,
to.
it's happening, man. It's happening.
Fuck, what did we do? Oh, we had to sync up. Like we would be in a PlayStation party and watching it, and we'd have to go. I'd have to have you turn your volume almost all the way up, and I'd have to listen for the audio cue, and then link our fucking shit up. And man, nowadays it's so much easier when we could just do it right here in StreamYard. Yeah, so this moment in this break brought to you by StreamYard. StreamYard, if you ever wanted to have a cool stream with a friend from another state, another country, fire up StreamYard. Great plans for everybody. I just made that up on my own, but shout out to StreamYard.
And also shout out to Sony PlayStation because Xbox sucks.
There's StreamYard. But yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, I do wish we could get more surprises more often. It'd be
yeah,
way
man.
cooler.
And like the Royal Rumble,
The
Royal
Wyatt
Rumble.
the Wyatt Six debut, even though we knew it was coming, they WWE
Yeah,
even told us it was coming. It was still pretty cool because I was not expecting that.
right. There's a difference between that and like a surprise return or a surprise signing showing up. Most of the time, these news guys they have their claws in deep enough where they get this information, and if they're right, if they're wrong, you see it and you're like kind of having the expectation of shit. I will say, like the Royal Rumble Andrade showing up, it wasn't reported, but it was kind of like everybody was like, "Yeah, he's coming back." So
Yeah.
I don't know what else you got.
Hangman Page, he has been
Mm.
out of action due to personal reasons and other things, but nothing injury related or anything. But he is expected back late June, so like now to early July. Nonetheless, many figure that he will be the wild card in the Owen Hart tournament. I personally think if he doesn't show up for the Owen Hart turn, I think nonetheless he's probably the fifth man for that blood and guts match with the Elite. So
Yeah,
that's
I saw the speculation that he would be in the it's the wild card with Jeff Jarrett, correct? Oh, yeah, it's
yeah.
Jeff Jarrett. Um I will watch. We have to check this out. It's like a 9-minute video. The promo that Jeff Jarrett cut about Owen Hart and all that apparently was fantastic. It was one of the best promos of his career, and it had everybody. Jeff Jarrett currently is a heel, a bad guy, and apparently this promo made everybody that watched it go, "Holy shit, we love Jeff Jarrett! Like this was amazing. He should win the Owen Hart Cup. He's not going to. Everybody knows he's not going to, but it would make sense if Hangman's going to come back and be a full on heel. Put him up against the guy that just cut a super babyface promo about Owen Hart. There you go. It's called storytelling.
And Jeff Jarrett knows storytelling because he is a legend
Jeff Jarrett
in
is
the
a legend.
business.
His
J
podcast, I know
double
Brian.
R E double T.
I know that our guy, why am I spacing his name right now? I was gonna say a buddy of mine. Shout out to Brian Cranfield. He's a photographer. The Podfather himself, the man that does pods with everybody, Conrad Thompson. Conrad, he does a podcast with Jeff Jarrett as well. If you haven't checked
He has a
that one out.
podcast with everybody.
Jeff Jarrett, Jim Ross, obviously something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. That is the one that kicked all these off. 83 weeks with Eric Bischoff. I think that's it right now. He's done a couple things with Russo, just on the off. But
Does he still do something with Tony?
Tony Schiavone, yeah, I think he does. I was gonna say Kevin Nash, but I think Kevin Nash does his own separate one.
Oh yeah, Tony Schiavone. That's what happened when.
What happened when with Tony Schiavone? One of the best
Yeah.
ones to give a follow to if you want a good laugh. Jim Cornette, the drive through to Jim Cornette.
I have mixed feelings about Jim Cornette, but nonetheless, I do find some of his stuff good, and then other stuff he just sounds like an old racist, grumpy ass fucking man. But he does have some pretty funny takes on some shit. So, hetcha and take a
Oh
shit
yeah,
out.
he for Hechicero, he said the Hechicha, and he said Hechichichia. I was like, oh my god, Cornette.
Mason Mansoor, they were Maximum Male models, weren't they, or something like that?
Yes, Maximo Waddles.
Yeah. They are rumored to be in talks with AEW. What followed after that is that if it does come to fruition, AEW would be just pitching them off to Ring of Honor.
Well, that's where you want to be. That's the place to be.
What, wrestle dark matches all the time?
Yeah, man. What else you got? What's next?
Oh my god. So our buddy Zane,
Yeah.
this is nothing related to wrestling. I just got a Discord invite from him where we do online hockey club shit, right? You know about this, but I'm telling our
The leagues,
50s,
all
the
the hockey
leagues,
leagues.
the Chell leagues. and I'm going to be running a team with him. And I just saw our team name, and I don't want to run a team anymore.
What league is this one?
AGL, but
Is
we are the.
KG is KG coming back? Am I coming back?
Are you 30 yet?
Oh, you have to be 30.
Damn. Zane isn't though, so figure it out.
Damn.
Anyways, nonetheless, we are the high velocity assault cows.
What's your next rumor? What's your next story?
What the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with people?
Shout out to
Anyways,
Zane.
nonetheless.
Hold on real quick. Shout out to Zane. Love you, Zane. You sometimes watch these. And if you are watching this one, here's 2 middle fingers, a big fuck you. Fuck Spurs, fuck Tottenham. Go Gunners, Arsenal all the way. What you got?
I just think you're pretty cool, dude. So
Thanks, man.
Matt Camp is talking more shit. This man is so pissed off he lost his job with WWE.
I don't know
It's
who's more bitter,
hilarious.
Matt Camp or Ronda Rousey at this point.
It's fucking hilarious. But he recently came out and said that talking shit about WWE just a random, but one thing that stuck out is he was talking about The Rock and The Rock saying that the WWE is a family. Vin Diesel style, and Matt Camp's like, I don't know, when I was fucking there, I wasn't fucking family. I didn't even know I got fired. I just didn't show up. Like, blah, blah. He's just a bitch. Fucking shut up, man. Jesus Christ.
Just a little
It's just,
butthurt that he got released.
it's like every other day. Matt Camp's just coming out talking shit.
It's a
Like, man,
business. Jesus,
like,
people.
and this is contract shit.
There we go.
I'm burying the lead on this one because I got 2 more for you. Natalia, I did say a couple weeks ago, and this leads to the rumors and innuendo. I said that she had signed a new contract. I was wrong. She is definitely probably leaving after her contract ends now, and she has been distancing herself more and more from day-to-day business of WWE in the last week or so.
That's fine.
So
That's fine. I mean, Natty, she really did all she could in WWE. There was really nothing left for her.
and she'll forever probably hold the record of most matches, period, for a women's
Yeah,
wrestler.
and I mean, wherever she ends up, whether that be AEW, most likely makes. Come on, they're gonna throw her a bag. But yeah, I mean, Natty will go do cool things elsewhere, but there's just nothing left for her in WWE. She literally has done everything.
Yeah.
So she's one of the best. Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer without a doubt.
Yeah, I love Natty.
Love Natty.
Becky Lynch. This one's interesting. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but she has apparently trademarked her name in regards to personal appearances and wrestling promotion appearances.
Rebecca Quinn, correct?
Yeah. Just throwing a little fire on it. Maybe she's not coming back to WWE.
Do you really believe it though?
No, not at all. Not at all. She's probably it's probably purely for her book shit and stuff and whatnot.
And if she's doing it for independent purposes, if she's going to show up to a couple indie shows, she's not going to. I don't think she signs a contract anywhere.
No,
just one-offs makes sense.
Probably pulls like a Matt and Jeff Hardy and just work week to week on shit.
Do a couple one-offs, but eventually you're going to be back full-time with WWE. WWE is not letting her go.
No. The big one, and the one that hurts both you and me.
Does it hurt though?
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. It hurts because this man was killing it. This is something I am legitimately pissed off at WWE about. Dijak is not getting re-signed.
I'm not pissed off at him. It sucks that he won't be on WWE television anymore. But I mean,
I honestly hope AEW grabs him. He could do some good shit with AEW.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But AEW, no, I'm good. I think he would fit 100% perfect in with New Japan.
Yeah, but I want to watch him.
Right. I don't know.
New Japan only. I mean, yeah, they air a lot of their shows, but we only watch the big ones. And unless he shows up at the fucking
Wrestle Kingdom or whatever. No, or are you talking about the Owen Hart
tournament?
Wild card?
No,
Owen Hart?
No,
G1.
New Japan tournament. G1. Thank you. Climax. Unless he shows up on something like that, we're probably not going to watch it. But if he does show up there, we will probably purposely go out of our way to watch that show.
Not WWE. Who is your dream opponent?
Dream opponent for Dijak. Wow, put me on the spot.
Sorry.
AEW. Okay, let's say he goes to AEW.
Yeah.
I'll give you
I'll,
AEW, and if he
I'll
goes
play
to New
along.
Japan, I'll give you two. I'll give you two opponents. I'll give you two opponents, dream opponents. Um, New Japan Pro Wrestling. If he goes there, I want to see him go up against Shingo Takagi.
Yeah, agreed. You'll hear nothing
If he
from me.
goes to AEW, and actually now that I think about it, I'm kind of giving you two New Japan Pro Wrestlers, but nonetheless, I'm gonna have to say John Moxley.
Two
I
new.
know, I know. Because when's the last time he's done anything for AEW?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
But
Um,
yeah, those are my two guys: John Moxley, Shingo Takagi. I think they maybe make it like a triple threat for the IWGP Championship and just like hardcore
sure,
street fight Texas death
sure.
match.
Here for it.
Throw a steel
Uh,
cage in there, and because Dijak, because steel cage match banners, he's good at those. We know that he killed it. Fucking 7-star match in NXT, and then the triple threat at WrestleMania weekend. Like honestly, that would be the perfect match. John Moxley, Takagi, Dijak, triple threat steel cage death match.
for the New Japan, the
The
IWGP World
IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
book that shit. Yeah, I agree with Takagi. Kind of want to see him run it back with Keith Lee. Him and Keith Lee put on banger matches. That's just me. So, man, yeah, Dijak leaving. People on the internet were, oh, AEW's fumbling the bag here. No, they're not. Like, it sucks that Dijak is leaving, but they had absolutely nothing for the guy, and it's fine. He's gonna go do great things elsewhere, and I can't wait to see what it is.
Bro, bro, bro,
Oh
bro,
God.
bro. Vince Russo, bro. Vice, Who Killed WCW. Actually, by the way, go check that out if you haven't. It's actually a good watch. They
Mm-hmm.
finally released the 4th episode, and we found out who killed WCW. No spoilers. Bischoff, Russo, and TNT. But nonetheless,
Yes.
bro, 353 bros in a 4-hour interview with Vince Russo.
Yeah, yeah. It's Russo, man. He says bro a lot. We talked about this. I think it was actually off camera after we stopped recording the last time, last night. I don't hate. I don't have any hate for Vince Russo. I think he's pretty chill. Like he follows me on Twitter. Like I've interacted with the guy I think in the past, but he does follow me on Twitter. Uh, he's a funny guy, and he's set in his ways, and you're not gonna change him. Um, I don't know. I got nothing against Vince Russo. People hate him for some reason.
Bruce Pritchard said it best because when Bruce Pritchard went to TNA, I think Eric Bischoff was in TNA for a little bit while too as well. Anyways, Bruce Pritchard was telling this story, and he's like going. One of the uppers came up to him and said, "Hey, do you have any issue with Russo, like from the WWE days and stuff? Because we're thinking of bringing him into TNA and whatnot." And Bruce Pritchard said, "Best. He's like, yeah, he does have some crazy fucking ideas sometimes, but he wrote some good fucking stories." And honestly, he said Vince Russo, outside of the persona of Vince Russo, is actually a really nice guy.
I believe it 100. I believe it. Now him and Bischoff do not get along at all.
No.
They despise each other. But yeah, I believe Russo's probably a nice guy off camera. But yeah. So what else you got? Any other news, or is it time to do
Let me
doing?
check my pictures because you know me, I like to take random pictures of stories mid work day.
Let me do that as well, just in case I did anything. I normally send them straight to you.
Yeah, I did too. Oh yeah, Dijak half price on his cameos now, so just remember that. That's because
Mm.
he's like, now that WWE doesn't take half my cameo money, I'll knock
I
it down half
do
price.
actually have something. I don't know if I sent this to you or not. This is per Wrestling Ticks. They're on Twitter. They post ticket sales and how many are available and all that good stuff. AEW and Wembley Stadium have made available for the All In pay per view 51,000 tickets. They've only sold 41,200 with the event just 61 days away. At this time last year, they had sold over 65,000 tickets. So the assumption from everyone involved in this year's event, it will not make anywhere near the money they did last year.
Well, we were just talking about this, not all in actually. Um, I was reading about this. We were just talking about Forbidden Door, which we'll get to not on this pod, but on a preview for Forbidden Door. But nonetheless, I was just reading something about a guy. No, somebody posed the question on one of the dirt sheets. It's like Daniel Garcia, MJF at All In. Are you pumped for this? And everybody's going, this makes me not want to watch All In.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. That's how I feel.
When we get to Dynamite, we'll elaborate on it. But I share that sentiment 1,000%. I don't give two fucks about MJF fighting Daniel Garcia. But nonetheless,
Nope, not at all.
let's move on. I have nothing in my pictures. I'm all news that won't hold up, rumored and innuendoed out. There was a little bit of news dropped in there though.
I see what you did there, but it's time to talk about SmackDown from June 21st, 2024.
Never realized about this jersey, but they kind of got like a carbon fiber thing going on with the collar.
Oh, the color, I see that. Mine's
Anyways.
got weird, like it goes white into the green. Anyway, um,
Oh yes, everybody knows Kelowna Rockets. Rock.
so we kick off Friday night SmackDown. There is a notice of reinforced security. This is after the Monday Night Raw, the debut of the Wyatt Six. There's reinforced
Yeah,
security.
because security is gonna stop them.
We learned that may not be
I
true.
mean, they killed Shaq Gable. Security did fuck all.
They didn't kill him, but you know. But the individual that kicks off the show, CM Punk, he starts things off and he's cutting a promo about basically saying he wasn't obviously going to legitimately kill Drew McIntyre, but he wanted to kill his career, and he didn't think it would be this easy because Drew McIntyre has quit the company. But before he can continue talking, he is interrupted by none other than Paul Heyman. And this is the first time since CM Punk has returned that we've seen them on screen together. And as everybody knows, CM Punk is a massive Paul Heyman guy from back in the day. And the crowd was, oh shit, this is really cool. Paul comes out and Paul Heyman right now currently is very skittish. He's very nervous all of the time. And he is asking a favor of CM Punk. And the favor he is asking of him is please leave the arena before the bloodline get here. The reason being they were on the way to the arena in Chicago, and the local sports DJ said that Chicago was CM Punk's town. And apparently Solo Sikoa took offense to that. And they were going to teach Punk a lesson. The bloodline do come out, Solo Sikoa, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga. And Solo basically gives them a choice. Acknowledge me, or we'll make sure you never wrestle again. Before Punk responds to this, he looks at Paul and he says, what was that favor you wanted to ask of me, Paul? Because Paul said, I'll do you a favor, you do me one. And this is why Paul Heyman is so good. In a quivering voice, he looks at Punk and he says, take me with you. Yeah, Paul Heyman is really good on the mic. This leads Punk to kind of go to acknowledge the bloodline, but then he says, I acknowledge that all I see are some fake ass Usos and a Roman Reigns cosplay. Bloodline get in the ring to confront Punk, but Cody Rhodes makes the save with 2 baseball bats, tossing one to Punk, and then challenging Solo for a match in the main event later tonight. This was a really good opening segment to SmackDown.
Like Mussolini.
Yeah, that
little Jim Cornette reference there. That was I like that. I like that.
Yeah, like Mussolini. Did Punk do that because of Cornette, you think?
It was a
Yeah.
Jim Cornette reference. 1,000% it was. Because he's referenced Cornette in the past too.
Yes, he
It's
has.
something Punk does. So nonetheless, this was a good opening segment. Paul Heyman continues to knock it out of the park. Everything he does, phenomenal. I keep forgetting that we're not quite there yet, but the bloodline Solo, this is getting real. And by the end of the show, it got real. So everything's working. I hear all the groans and moans about the current bloodline, and it don't mean shit. Tongaloa, Tamatonga, Solo, they're killing it, and they're about to get even more dominant by the end of this show.
Cook. They knew who it is. They saw him on the SmackDown thing. We'll get to it, but Jacob Batu did show up. They saw it on the title page. I am very excited for what's to come with the bloodline. Just like you, Up next, Bianca Belair as getting gorilla position. She's warming up for a match. Jade Cargill shows up and says that they need to get their tag titles back. Bianca says, sure, but I got to focus on my Money in the Bank qualifier match, which was coming up next. It was actually going to be the opening match of the night. Yes.
I just want to give a shout out to Bianca Belair here. She showed some veteran leadership, and originally, thought it was all just kind of like playing it to the crowd. At Clash of the Castle, there, Jade Cargill's big botch, and after the match, walking to the back, Bianca did the to her chin up thing, right? And you're like, okay,
Mhm.
sell the story, right? But it came out that Jade Cargill was actually unbelievably upset with herself that she botched those moves, and that was Bianca just doing the veteran thing and saying, "Hey, shit happens. Get your chin up. It's all good."
100% shit happens. That's what we said when we talked about it. It happens. It did throw off things. Sucks. It does happen though. And I'm sure Jade was very hard on herself because she's been pushing herself to, get better and better. So that's cool to hear though. So shout out to Bianca Belair. Before we get to the opening match, Cody Rhodes is in the back with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. After the match against Solo was announced, Orton says they'll accompany him tonight, but Cody says he's got it handled because I have a plan. We'll find out what that plan is later. I think his plan backfires. The women's Money in the Bank qualifier, the triple threat match between Chelsea Green, Michin, and Bianca Belair. And Chelsea Green is going to Money in the Bank. Bianca Belair hit the KOD on Michin, went for the pin, but Chelsea swooped in, threw her out, and picked up the victory. The crowd went nuts. We went nuts. I was so happy about this. Chelsea Green is going to be going for Money in the Bank.
Fuck, man. I say it every week. She is literally on everything right now. NXT, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, everything. She's always there. She is integral to everything in the WWE right now. She is quickly climbing the charts of being one of my favorite women wrestlers, if not already there, right behind Bayley, because no one will ever knock Bayley off that throne. But that being said, Chelsea Green is phenomenal. I'm so happy that they are giving her this shot. I hope she fucking wins Money in the Bank. I really do. She
I don't
came out
know.
after the show and said that she wants to bring back the Divas belt. I think that's kind of dumb, but I would let her do it because it's Chelsea Green.
I hope yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, shout out to Chelsea Green. Backstage, Bianca Belair, or sorry,
Hey, actually, think about it. We've been saying that the WWE needs a mid card title, anyways, right?
bring back the Divas Championship. Backstage,
No,
Blair.
I'm saying if it happens, it happens. I'm against it. They should make it a legit title, but
Yeah,
it's Chelsea Green would rock the Divas title until they made it a real title.
Blair Davenport confronts WWE Women's Champion Bayley backstage, where she promises that she will cash in on her after she wins the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. As we speak, she would have just had her Money in the Bank qualifier match. Don't know who won. We have not watched the show yet, but she was scheduled to. I think it was her, Jade, and Tiffany maybe in that
I think
qualifier
so.
match.
I gotta say, I'm warming up to Blair here. I'm
Me
starting to like.
too.
I'm liking the
Yeah.
angle. I'm liking the angle.
And that we don't know much about Blair because when we started watching everything like we were, it was right at the very end of Blair's run in NXT. Really, all we got from Blair was a little bit of a blow off feud, and then her and Sol Ruka having their thing, and then next thing you know, she's drafted, and we haven't seen her since. Yeah, Blair Davenport warming up to both of us. I like that. Backstage, Solo Sikoa demands Paul Heyman to tell Tongaloa and Tama Tonga to make sure Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are not ringside during his match tonight. Now, when they were saying this, when he was speaking to Paul, the audio cut out, and this was everywhere. And everyone was like, "Oh, they cut it out. It's gonna be something crazy." Came out that it was a legit audio malfunction, and they had to go later in the show and announce that yes, this is actually what was said. So everyone was like, "Oh, the Wyatt Six," or "Oh, they're bleeping it because they don't want people to know what's coming." So I thought that was pretty cool, and it was all an accident.
Dude, it's story on top of story though. They're
Yeah,
just releasing that story
the,
to cover the story of the
the
story of the
stories are
story.
the stories are so good in WWE. They don't know what it is.
It's layers, man. It's like
The,
an onion.
the stories are so good that the equipment in the back's like, I got something for y'all. Watch this. I'm gonna stop working.
Oh shit! Oh my god! I feel like I'm gonna feel like twice a dick because one, I'm a dick for forgetting that I wanted to pitch my
Yeah, I don't think
idea.
you should pitch that. I don't really don't
I'm
think you should
pitching
pitch
it.
that.
I'm pitching it because honestly, who hasn't thought about this just a little bit? And hugest condolences to the McAfee family. But one of those ass don't go blank on me. One of those assholes in the writers' room in the back going, "Hey guys, are you is anybody thinking what I'm thinking? Like, you tell lies, consequences happen. No, too soon. What do we? If this was Vince McMahon still around, they would just do it anyways. Because if you remember correctly, they had Martha Hart live interview like 2 days after Owen Hart died in the ring with Vince McMahon. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying because it's completely insensitive and I'm a dick, but how wild would that be? How like
Calm down,
if
Russo. Hey,
let's just
calm
say
down, Russo. Calm
let's
down.
just say Pat okayed it, Pat's wife okayed it,
Not a
and
chance.
they said, yeah, let's just say they did it, and then you tell lies, there's consequences to your lies.
So we killed your father-in-law. That's what you're
Oh
going to
no,
say.
it's karma or some shit. I don't know. I'm
It's
just
not gonna happen. Pat's
no.
wife is a sweetheart. She is,
Yes.
from all accounts, a quote unquote. She's
Hey,
a.
I preface the whole thing by I'm a
I
dick, but
understand.
some asshole in
I
that writer's
I
some
know,
asshole in that
but I'm
writer's
trying
room.
to level it out here. Pat's wife is, from all accounts, a big daddy's girl. Her father was everything to her. She's got a whole arm sleeve tattoo, all with stuff with her and her father. That ain't happening. But yes, as RK said before he decided to be a dick, condolences to the McAfee family. Pat, local here in Indianapolis, big fan. And this is just kind of a side note with Pat McAfee. I don't know if I've told you this before. I almost went to work for Pat McAfee. I didn't
And you
go to
fucked
the
up.
no, I didn't go to the auditions because I had to work at the radio
So you
station.
fucked up.
I fucked up. Should have went, man. Maybe I could have made an impression. And the next thing you know, we wouldn't be doing this. I'd be hanging out with Pat McAfee and WrestleMania and shit. That'd been really cool. But anyway, back to the show.
You would have been one of those guys behind the announce table going, "Hey, where's Pat?"
Yeah, where the hell's Pat? Let's get back to the
Do you think
show.
just side note, do you think like they got a call halfway through, be like, "Oh, guys, this is actually serious. You got to come," or like
The
because they
guys,
all left. They all left
no,
like halfway through.
I think the guys knew because from what he said on the show the next day was as soon as they ended the show, he got the phone call and that's when they knew. So I know the boys knew, and they just there's nothing they could have done for Pat, and Pat probably just told him, "Man, you guys got go sit behind the desk, go enjoy the show." So
Anyways, nonetheless, I'm a dick, but a writer in the back did say, "Hey,
100%,
guys."
and they fired him on the spot. Like, we don't want Vince McMahon's people here. Get out of here. That was my Triple H impression. What do we got? Oh,
It was
Caleb.
probably Bruce though. Actually, if Vince Russo would have pitched that for
That's why I
sure.
told you. I was like, Russo, calm down. Caleb Braxton backstage is interviewing Grayson Waller. Waller is saying that he is your camera. It wants to
I
focus on
know.
Marcus.
Jesus Christ.
Backstage, Grayson Waller says he's going to win Money in the Bank, and he's going to do it in honor of his tag team partner Austin Theory, who is unavailable because he's at home recovering from the attack by DIY. They declare that Waller did not give a shit about Austin Theory's well-being and only cared about himself. But as the interview is happening, a loud thud is heard behind them on the is that a guardrail or
No, it was
it
an
was a garage
overhead
door,
door.
overhead door,
It was an overhead door.
and so immediately I was like,
How fucking good was this shot? How good was this
well,
shot?
originally I was like, oh, the Wyatt Six, they're carrying it. No, it was as the overhead door raises up. You see a body laying on the concrete ground with a large, pissed off Scotsman standing over him. Drew McIntyre has beaten down CM Punk to a bloody pulp. He puts CM Punk on his back and walks out to the arena and just drops him behind him with a loud thud, um, leaving Punk with a pool of blood as they went to all the people backstage come out to help him. But before he could do that, Drew reaches down and takes a bracelet, not similar to the one I have on here, like a friendship bracelet almost, you could call it, with his wife's name and his dog's name on it, and took it from CM Punk's arm, saying, I just took I'll take your wife and your dog with me. Punk goes off in an ambulance backstage. Yeah, this is the best story in WWE.
It's the way they're building this, man. Is it anything but the main event at SummerSlam?
Yes, it has to be the main event. If this match is a go, main event at SummerSlam, 100%.
Like, this is perfect. I've said it. I keep on saying it. I repeat myself more than once every other fucking week. Perfect proof. You don't need a belt to make a fucking feud important.
This is the definition of it right now. It is the best storyline in WWE, in my opinion. Up next, we have the men's Money in the Bank qualifier triple threat match. Tama Tonga, Randy Orton, and Carmelo Hayes will go out to see who will go to Money in the Bank. The winner of this one was Carmelo Hayes with a roll-up win on Randy Orton. I was happy about this decision because Randy didn't need to be in a Money in the Bank match, nor did Tama Tonga. Carmelo, this is going to be really cool to see Carmelo in this match.
Money in the Bank has historically always been used to give a push to a talent
Right.
that hasn't been near the top before.
Have you noticed the theme here in all these triple threat qualifiers? The person that two vets and one up and comer.
Yeah.
To make the up and comer get a win and a pin over a big one. Pretty cool.
Yep.
How they're doing that. So Carmelo Hayes will advance. We get a video recap of the Wyatt 6. LA Knight comes to the ring to call out Logan Paul. Logan does not come out. Knight then said he would aim to take both the men's Money in the Bank and the United States Championship. But of all people, Santos Escobar interrupts, calls him delusional. They brawl, and then Logan Paul shows up out of nowhere and knocks out LA Knight. I think it is safe to say we should be getting LA Knight, Logan Paul at SummerSlam for the United States Championship.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. I think this goes back to the whole time that LA Knight kind of got screwed out of the main card picture by CM Punk and all this shit. And I think this is where, if you're gonna pull the trigger, you put the U.S. title on LA Knight here. You have to.
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting because Cleveland is where SummerSlam is. That is Logan Paul's hometown, even though he lives in Puerto Rico now.
Hey, he's billed out of Puerto Rico.
It's true. So, but I guarantee they don't say that when they're in Cleveland. He'll try and get the hometown pop, and I hope the fans are like, "You don't claim us. Go on, get out of here."
Nonetheless, if you don't pull the trigger here and put the title on LA Knight, you might as well stick a fork in LA Knight at that point.
Up next was another men's Money in the Bank qualifier match between Grayson Waller, Kevin Owens, and Andrade El Idolo. Andrade is going to pick up the win over Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller here with his finisher, the Silencer. Another person that I was like, yeah, Andrade needs to be in the Money in the Bank match.
I agree and I don't agree because on our awards show I said Grayson Waller's underrated.
Yeah.
I still think Grayson Waller next 5 years he's top billing. You heard
he's
it here
good
first.
on the mic and he's good in the ring. I mean, one more.
But that being said, finally all the fucking marks and e-drones and all that shit can shut the fuck up about Andrade not getting anything.
But when he doesn't win it, they're gonna be like, "See, they're burying him." Whatever, dude.
Not everybody can win everything all the fucking time, okay? Everybody's gonna be upset about something. If you want it, then be like, "Oh, you're burying Carmelo Hayes," and if Carmelo wins, you're like, "Oh, you're burying Andrade. You just got him. What? Why would any talent ever want to come? Shut the fuck up."
Up next, Tiffany Stratton. It is Tiffy time backstage as she confronts Michin. But all this was a setup as Nia Jax attacks Michin. I assume we'll have
kind of like this segment. It was pretty good.
We'll probably have a bit of a blow off on the next week's SmackDown episode.
Hey, you know what? Michin's another one of those that is just appearing up everywhere. Like Chelsea Grange on everything. I like to see it.
But the difference between her and Chelsea is Michin's got an actual beef in NXT right now that I think is going to have a payoff with the street fight with Jada Parker. I think that's happening at Heatwave. I could be wrong. I think that is happening.
I think it was confirmed.
It's either going to be on Heatwave or NXT TV. I'm not sure. Caleb Braxton provides a brief update saying CM Punk will be staying overnight at a hospital in Chicago. Drew McIntyre will speak on Monday Night Raw. Elsewhere backstage, Paul Heyman is speaking to Solo Sikoa backstage right before the main event match. He told Solo that he was overstepping his boundaries, as he and Roman Reigns had agreed that CM Punk was a no-go due to Paul Heyman's personal connection with Punk, and that he was supposed to keep Cody in check until Roman came back. However, Solo informs Paul Heyman and the world that Roman is never coming back. And Paul Heyman, of course, reacts with, "How can that be? How can that be?" And he follows Solo out the curtain, but he's a little late and he's a little shooken up because Paul Heyman is a fantastic actor. Before we get to the main event, is it? I think we've said it before. Solo is just speaking bullshit, right? Like it's part of the thing. That Roman's never coming back, and Roman told me this, and I talk to Roman all the time. No, he doesn't. You good? You're all right over there?
Um,
What
just
was
just
the
just trying to look into the
my
crystal
eyes?
ball of Solo's knowing of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all story. Of course, it's story.
yeah, of course. But it's pretty cool to see
Unless
Paul Heyman.
unless unless unless, and I'm surprised you didn't pick up on the Naito fucking thing. But anyways,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
um, unless Roman's feeding this information to Solo just to fuck with him.
No, no. I think at
Then
the end
no.
of the day, all the orders have been coming from one person, and that's The Rock. Right? That's
That's
the way
true.
I look at it. That's why I've been thinking about it. The main event, Cody Rhodes taking on Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes is going to win this match via disqualification because not very quickly into the match do the Tongans appear to
Oh,
take out Cody
shit,
Rhodes.
shit. Stop. Full pause. I got something to say.
Am I pausing?
No, I'm just saying stop talking.
Oh,
Only you pause randomly and drop me with a bomb of a question that I got to think about for 10 minutes.
I had to pee.
But anyways, unless Jimmy Uso
Yeah.
is clear to coming back very soon. And a lot of the
So
rumors are
you just
is
spoiled
that Roman's
SmackDown.
going to show up with Jimmy.
You just spoiled SmackDown. They probably just showed up tonight.
We don't watch this SmackDown, and this is last week's show that's happening in the past of the future. The
Yeah, I know.
future's past. That's an X-Men show, isn't
Um,
it? But anyways, unless
yeah,
Jimmy
they
and
gotta
Roman, I think they come back together, and I
gotta go get Jay. They gotta go get
gotta
Jay.
get Jay. Gotta
And they
get
gotta
Jay.
get one more member to go up against the
Zilla.
boys. Zilla would be cool. That is Umaga's son. And I think Hikuleo, because he is apparently signed. I don't know. That hasn't been fully confirmed, to be clear. But the
I haven't
rumors
heard
have been
anything
there.
about signing, but he's definitely
The
without a
rumors
contract
are
in New
everywhere.
Japan.
And you kind of shake it off, and some people do too on the internet. They're like, "That's stupid," and some people don't think it's stupid. Sami Zayn played a pivotal role in the Bloodline story. I
I don't
mean,
think it's stupid. I just don't like it.
I agree with you because I feel like I want it to be all Bloodline. You know,
Yeah.
Sammy, honorary Oos. He is honorary Oos, but
I
he,
just
he
don't
get
see how I just don't see how he fits in the story now. I
no.
just don't
Well,
see it.
no, but he was a
He
massive part.
finished he finished his story with the bloodline. He finished it.
Yep,
How can I don't see it looping back in.
with a loss.
And can you please fucking remind me to figure out how to auto focus shit on this camera turn off? I was gonna do it like 2 weeks ago and I forgot.
So yeah, as I said, Cody wins by disqualification. The Tongans, of course, show up and beat him
Fuck, we're just
down.
pitching everything on this show. Starbucks.
The Tongans show up to beat Cody down. Of course, there was no clean match here. I don't know what Cody's plan was, but Randy and Kevin show up to help him. Well, maybe we'll find out when we watch SmackDown if Cody even had a plan. The match. Sorry, I was kind of repeating myself there. As Cody and Randy and Kevin, they take out the Tongans and they corner Solo Sikoa, and Solo has got his hands up and he's pleading like, "Please, no, no, stop, stop, stop." And then a smile comes over his face. And the former MLW World Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, has arrived in WWE, and he looks in great shape, better shape than he was on the Indies and in the MLW. He looked the part. He's Jacob Fatu. He is not in a rumor from Dave Meltzer. We actually didn't talk about this. I don't know if you saw this. Maybe we just skipped over it because it wasn't that big of a deal. The Caesar Sokoa nickname that they trademarked the WWE rumored was to potentially be used for Jacob Fatu, but they decided to go with Jacob's full real name, which is way better than Caesar Sokoa. Jacob Fatu shows up and he lays waste to, and let's just clarify, lays waste to Kevin Owens, one of the top guys on SmackDown and in the WWE. Randy Orton, a top guy for life, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time, and the current biggest babyface in the company, Cody Rhodes. And not just I punched you in the face, I kicked you out the ring, run away. He does a full frog splash from the ring onto the announce table, onto Cody Rhodes, beautifully, might I add. Cody was on the live show saying he broke 2 ribs from that splash. WWE.
Can I just say how stupid some fucking fans are, man? Fuck me. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, what are they gonna do? Is he gonna have to drop the title now?" It's like you guys are stupid.
Yeah. But man, Jacob Fatu's here. Looks great. He is great. Go watch some of his matches. Go listen to his promos. Hand him a microphone and let him cook. Jacob Fatu is. So I think I said this to you off camera or when we were watching something. The story was always, Roman's gone and Solo's going to step to Roman. When you see that match and you're like Solo versus Roman, you're like, it's Roman. Roman's going to should destroy Solo. Jacob Fatu is a different story. Jacob Fatu has this interesting element. And my favorite part of this is when he gets in the ring. There's 2 things I want to make note of. After he lays waste to everybody, he gets in the ring. Solo's happy to see him. Solo hugs Jacob Fatu. If you notice something, Jacob did not hug him back. Jacob did not hug Solo back, but he was crazy-eyed, locked in. Tama Tonga and Tongaloa looked confused, to say the least, to see Jacob Fatu. And they seemed almost like taken back that Jacob was there. I'm hyped. I know I just rambled a lot about that last segment, but I love Jacob Fatu, and he's going to do some amazing work. What do you think of the end of SmackDown?
I'm not groaning at Jacob Fatu. I'm kind of groaning at your reading into that a bit too much. I think that's just to show more than anything that Jacob's just a wild card.
He's a werewolf. He's locked in. But I was like, hey, he didn't hug him back.
Also, can we talk about how WWE just stole MJF's moniker of the Wolf, Werewolf, fucking the Wolf of Wrestling?
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't steal that. Jacob Fatu's been the Samoan Werewolf for years. So if anything, MJF stole the Werewolf moniker from Jacob Fatu.
All the fans are going to think that WWE stole from AEW though, nonetheless, because MJF was just with the new shirt and everything.
Whatever.
I love this. I love this, and
well, at least Jacob Fatu.
Everybody's worst fears of Jacob Fatu overshadowing Solo Sikoa are about to come true because it's going to happen.
Yeah, don't hand Jacob the microphone. If you want to try and keep him away from overshadowing Solo, do not hand Jacob Fatu the microphone because when he cuts a promo, it's done.
Yeah,
done.
I broke that. I didn't break it. I just read it from somebody else. But nonetheless, the initial worry was that Jacob Fatu was going to overshadow Solo, so they're going to give Solo some time to establish some dominance. You'd have to have Solo establish dominance for 2 years and then bring Jacob in to even have that chance. You're fucked. Fatu's going to overshadow Solo. It's happening.
I think so. They can make it work, hopefully, too. I think this is... So, Jacob is going to be to Solo what Solo was to Roman. But times 100. Way better. But yeah. Shout out to... They did it. Jacob Fatu has arrived, and people were like, "Oh, who is it? Who is it?" When he arrived, because he does. I think I read he's lost 30 pounds and turned it into muscle.
Basically, he signed the contract back at WrestleMania, and I don't know if he was told or if he just went time to get to work. But nonetheless, he looked.
I feel like somebody
phenomenal.
Probably was like, "Hey, we want you to be here. We got a fantastic state of the art gym you can use. Get to work." And
Hey, it's not the first time that superstars were told to lose weight. Hell, they used to send guys down to OVW if they weren't
yeah,
going to lose weight. Big Show, I think Samoa was down there for a little bit because of it. So, anyways,
yeah, I thought this was a fantastic SmackDown though. Having Jacob Fatu, and that's why I really want to get this podcast out because God, I want to watch SmackDown. I really want to see what they're going to do next with the Bloodline story. You know,
well, hey, we
this was
don't have 5 shows this week, so
no, we just got Raw, Dynamite, and NXT left to go. I will say, man, this is AW. Take notes. It's how you keep people interested and want to tune in next
hey,
week.
no talking shit about AEW. They're awesome.
Okay, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. This was from June 24th, 2024, from my hometown here of Indianapolis, Indiana. I was not in attendance. RK gave me
This
shit for that.
asshole, this fucking asshole. He's like, I'm gonna go bowling instead because it's championship night and we're gonna win the championship. He gets back. I'm like, hey,
Didn't say
did
we
you
were
win
going
the
to win the championship.
championship?
Didn't say
I'm
we were
like,
going to win the
hey,
championship. I said I was bowling for a championship.
hey. I'm like, so you lost the championship, and then he also lost out on seeing Liv Morgan live. Everything else that happened live. Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy live, even though it's a video on a video, but he's still live. The fucking lights going down, the Chad, the sister Abigail, the witch fucking, you missed it all live.
I don't know what's so wrong about wanting to watch stuff live with your buddy.
If you said, hey, I'm not going to WrestleMania so I can watch it with you on fucking TV, I would fly to Indianapolis and kick your ass.
That's fair. And you say, but not, I have Liv Morgan with me always. Okay.
That's great. But you could have been front row, like 20 feet away from her. And you could say, I love you, Liv. Listen to our podcast.
Yeah. The show kicks off with Michael Cole welcoming the audience
Hey,
to.
sorry. I know. Shout out to Michael Cole. Tonight, he shined.
Oh yes. Made up for.
How
He was bumbling over some stuff in the past few
he
episodes.
had a couple bad weeks, but this week
Yeah.
he shined because he was put in a very tough position.
Yes, he was. Show kicks off with him welcoming the crowd and the fans at home to Indianapolis. Pat McAfee, as we've spoken about, we're not really going to dig deep into it again. Pat was not there. Family emergency. But instead, The Miz would be doing color commentary with Michael Cole tonight. He had done it before. Cole attempts to throw it to the White Six recap package, but Drew just walks in front of the camera shot and gets in the ring to cut a promo. He brags about what he did to CM Punk on SmackDown, pulls out that friendship bracelet with the Chicago colors and the names of Larry and AJ on them, says he's going to enter Money in the Bank and he's going to win it and cash in the same night with CM Punk's family by his side because he's now wearing the friendship bracelet thing. Mocks CM Punk for being hurt, miserable, and alone. Then we get the Wyatt Six package. After that, we kind of talked about this on SmackDown, though, and this is just a continuation of it. It's the best storyline in WWE right now, and that's Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
It's so good.
It's the best. It is
so
compelling.
good.
We get a shot of Chad Gable arriving to the arena. He's flanked by security, not wanting to answer any questions. Jackie Radman tries, doesn't get anything out of him. After the commercial break, she confirms that any further injury to Chad Gable there's no further injuries outside of the small stitches or whatnot we saw on his head from the head wound where he was shot in the head.
Medical has come a long way. Like, you wouldn't even know when he was shot last week.
Bounce back, man. Jackie Redmond interviews Ludwig Kaiser. We spoke about this in the news of what happens. He says that he is going to prove that Braun Breaker is not on his level, basically. Braun Breaker versus Ludwig does end in a no contest after this. Sheamus showed up to attack Kaiser, and RK spoke about this in the news. This was the match in which Ludwig got hurt. I can't pinpoint in my head when and where Ludwig had gotten injured in this match.
No contest. Fucking Braun got disqualified.
I'm just reading off of the website, man. Don't fucking yell at me. All right.
Did you not watch the fucking show?
It's been almost a week.
Anyways, nonetheless, Ludwig got the win with interference from Sheamus. On
Sheamus
Ludwig.
attacked Ludwig, so Ludwig got the win. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I
Anyways,
don't
nonetheless,
know where he got hurt in this match or what it was.
I haven't gone back and watched it, but I would assume it's from one of the spears. I would have to assume.
Orlando Cepeda, Hall of Famer.
Actually, you know what? I bet you I know where it happened. That when Breaker dived off the apron while Kaiser was sitting on the announce desk, and they went tumbling over the fucking thing.
That's possible. That was a wild spot.
That was a wild spot. That was ridiculous from Braun. A guy that size shouldn't like.
He's insane. He's a freak of nature. Braun speared Sheamus though before Sheamus could put Ludwig through a table, and that ended that segment. Let's get into the second best storyline on WWE television, and that is the Judgment Day. They're in the clubhouse. They have a brand new TV, a PlayStation 5, playing WWE 2K24. Dom has a massive platter of chicken nuggets. Damien is asking, "Oh, Carlito, go ahead."
Remind me at the end of the Raw review to read off the day in a day in the life of Finn Balor.
Yes, okay. I think I yeah. So I know what you're talking about. I think I saw this too. It made me laugh. But yes, you have to read that. Damien asks, "Oh, Carlito, is this all you?" And Dom's like, "Hey, I know you're not gonna like this, but these are all gifts from Liv Morgan." Damien's not happy, but then Dom gets a text in the middle of this conversation, and he shows it to Damien like this, and then all the guys see it. We obviously don't know what it is, but it's a text from Liv Morgan of some sorts that makes all the guys go, "Oh, whoa." So this is, I don't know.
Carlito,
Presuming
that's cool.
that's cool. It was either
Okay,
picture,
you know what?
whatever.
At the time, I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. Liv is wild, and then I thought about the other half of this. Questionable storyline to be showing
I
just
don't say it. Please don't say it because I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Everybody on the
just
internet was doing this, and I'm not. It's not the same fucking thing. It's not the same
it's
thing. Don't try and make it the same thing. It's not the same thing.
it's questionable.
It's a fucking story. It's the
I
storyline.
know. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I'm just saying
Obviously, when he fucking
you
showed
can
his
see where
phone,
some people are gonna pick that apart.
because they're fucking idiots and they want anything to be dramatic. Just
I
like you.
know.
You want to
I'm
get a
just
rise
saying.
out of me. You see what I'm
I do.
doing and you're
I
fucking
love it.
doing it. It's
But
it's so
you
stupid.
can
These
see
people,
where you can link the two.
100%,
Just saying.
100%. But
What
here's
did
the
she send
difference.
him a picture of her baking him an apple?
Like
I'm sorry, that just sounded hilarious. Coming out of my mouth, baking
here's
in
the
an apple
fucking
pie,
difference.
warm apple pie.
Here's the difference for all the fucking idiots, and I guess you're a part of this crew too, RK.
Fuck you.
Um,
No,
do
I
you
said
think?
I loved it. I'm just saying, can you
Do
not
you,
see the
okay,
linkage?
for the idiots, do you think when he turned the phone around, it really had anything scandalous on it? No, I guarantee it
No,
didn't.
but it
But
was in
it has
innuendo.
nothing to do with the legit real life situation. Remember, guys, professional wrestling's not real, right? It's not real. Bah, 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 bah. Damien tells him to get a handle on Liv Morgan tonight. What can we talk about this real quick? Why is Damien such a hater? Why he hating, bro? What's he hating about?
Because he doesn't need the Judgment Day like they need him.
He does say that later in the night, which was a line that made me go, ooh.
And the fact that he said it like in the middle of the rain
With a mic.
on the mic
Yeah.
to everybody.
We get backstage. Braun Breaker going to Adam Pearce, saying he's tired of people interrupting his matches and demands a match with Sami Zayn for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And Sami's right there. And guess what? It's happening. Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank.
Sami Zayn is usually pretty level-headed, smart guy. Dumb, just dumb move on Sammy's part.
Sami might
Like
win.
why? No,
Not
you don't slow the momentum of Braun right now.
old, not clean. Not clean.
Sheamus?
Sheamus is going to interrupt. and I think we'll get a bigger scale match on a bigger pay-per-view like SummerSlam. Hear me out. Braun Breaker winning the IC title at SummerSlam is a way bigger deal than him winning it at Money in the Bank.
Yes, 100%. But you got to be careful with how you do it. You got to
Yeah.
be very careful with how you do it.
Yeah. You can't make
Because
it doesn't matter how you do it. Sheamus
in
can
the
just
end,
throw up,
we can go back to how we talk about the fans, us being the fans, and other people, dumb idiot fans, don't understand that a loss doesn't mean it's the end of his fucking career.
yeah.
But fans can turn on a character that has a ton of momentum instantly with a loss, of a profile loss.
You can have Braun in control of the match, and Sheamus just hits him with a chair. There you go.
No, I get it. You have to do it. You got to tread carefully with that one.
I agree.
Because Braun is the next big thing.
Yeah. Up next, Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, and Lyra Valkyria go at it in a triple threat qualifier match for women's Money in the Bank. Lyra Valkyria picks up the win here. I think we both kind of said, yeah, she's going to get the win in this one. And both of us also agreed that she has grown on us since she has moved up to the main roster from NXT. She's doing really good work.
She has 100%. I still don't like her
Character
get up. Tweak that a bit, and she's a superstar. In my mind.
Like her name's Valkyria, right? Last name Valkyria. You've played God of War, right?
Yep.
The Valkyrie Queens. Have her get up like those. Just be one of those.
I think that's what they're trying to aim for, but they're not hitting it.
Yeah, they need to go dark with it. Adam Pearce is backstage with Drew McIntyre, basically telling him, you got to earn your spot for Money in the Bank. You don't just get it handed to you. Drew says, fine, or I will, and storms off, and he storms off in Scottish. Liv Morgan enters the ringside area from the...
Would you like to qualify that comment?
Which one?
He storms off in Scottish?
I was just trying to make a funny joke and see if you would get it.
I get it. I mean,
because he's Scottish, and he stormed off in Scottish.
Kurt thinks all Scottish people are angry people.
They do have an angry accent about them.
Yeah, so do Germans. I mean, what did we ever do?
You wanna? No. No. We've said some shit, but we're not going down that road. We've said some shit on this show. Nuh-uh. Not touching that one. Not that one is way too hot. Liv Morgan enters the ringside area, and she's wearing a...
I'm gassed.
She's wearing a Daddy's Girl shirt. And she comes out saying she wants to give Dominic a gift right in the middle of the ring. Zelina interrupts her, and I want to say Zelina killed it on the mic in this segment. She was on fire.
Yeah.
It basically interrupts her and kind of just calls her a hoe. It says you're getting Rhea Ripley's sloppy seconds, which Liv responds, "I love it," basically. And that made me go.
Did you see her tweet?
Yeah. Trust me.
I'll take thirds, fourths, fifths, and sixths. And Dom keeps fucking liking it.
Dom's he's falling for the trap. Basically, Zelina comes out and says she wants a championship match right there on the spot, but Liv says she's got other things to worry about. I'll give it to you next week. Dom comes out and says he wants to help Vega win the championship from Liv Morgan. Morgan and Vega start fighting. Ray comes out, tries to pull Morgan off of Vega, but that just gets the younger Mysterio to push his father down, and Liv is like, my hero, and follows him obsessively out of the ring. This is so good, man. So good.
I'm laughing because I saw a dirt sheet that, one of the admins is a WWE mark and the other one's a AEW mark. And the AEW posted is like, oh, look, another Dom and Deadbeat Daddy storyline. And this one involves Liv. And it's so fucking awesome. It's such a great story. It's like, shut the fuck up. You don't even understand the fucking mastery of storytelling they're weaving right now with this shit.
I hate marks. Are we marks?
A little bit sometimes.
Fuck.
I'm not gonna lie. I will definitely 100% lean towards WWE over AEW. But I do like to feel like we have an appreciation for everything else as
Yeah.
well.
We don't have what people call tribalism. We are not
No,
loyal. We are not
no.
diehard one brand over the other. We will watch it all. Let's get to it
I will
here.
definitely 1000% call out WWE if they're fucking doing
Yeah,
stupid shit. Hence why I didn't watch them for like nearly 8 years because that shit sucked.
valid, valid. You weren't here in the trenches with me, you son of a bitch. You don't know
No,
what it was
because it
like.
sucked. I will not. I do not enjoy watching shitty wrestling.
It was not great. Adam Pierce confirms once again that Chad Gable is alive and he is cleared for action. We get a
Amazing, amazing.
fantastic vignette about Seth
The
Rollins.
medical community needs to study that man.
Vignette, a fantastic vignette of Seth Rollins' recovery and return with the song that I truly love, Bailey Zimmerman, Won't Back Down. Go look it up if you haven't heard it. I love the song. So we get that to hype up the fact that Seth Rollins is back, which I really didn't know. Like, I didn't get, like, why are we getting that vignette for Seth? Like, he didn't, like, he wouldn't even gone that long.
No,
But
the
it's Seth.
guy is a freak of fucking nature. The knee thing, coming back
Mhm.
from the knee thing so quick, and then WrestleMania, and now he's back again.
Yeah.
He recently came out, I think just like yesterday or something, saying that he was given like 2 weeks notice for this shit.
Interesting. Backstage, we got Liv Morgan chasing around Dom. He refuses to give her any attention. She's my hero, my hero. R-Truth shows up, and R-Truth is just I wish
So
I had word for word what was said, but it was just hilarious. R-Truth saying that looks like um a hero that basically don't want to be acknowledged. And she's like, it's hard being in love. And Truth's like, oh, I love love. And but Liv thinking on her toes because Liv's smart. She's smart here. She's working. She's doing her thing, trying to get the Judgment Day to let her in. This is RK's long term storytelling with Finn Balor and Liv. She tricks R-Truth into giving Finn and JD a tag title match. This leads to Miz on commentary with Michael Cole with a face of, huh?
what the
He
fuck just happened?
he leaves the commentary position and try to get to Adam Pierce before his tag team partner does. And this is the moment where, as you said, uh, kudos to Michael Cole because he does commentary the rest of the night by
Like 2
himself.
hours by himself, and you were even commenting on how like that's fucking hard.
Yeah, I have nowhere ever on the level of Michael Cole, anybody, but I have done commentary for racing, and let me tell you, commentating by yourself fucking suck. It'd be like you doing this by yourself or me doing this by ourselves. You gotta have somebody to bounce stuff off of. You need a color guy. It is so
It's like
hard.
every time you leave, you're like, just talk, and it's just like I just repeat the same shit for 5 minutes straight because I'm like, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about.
Which I say I've done podcasts solo before, but it's still hard. I
There's
prefer to.
only one thing worthwhile doing solo in this life.
And even then, you still need a little help. Um,
Hey, can we talk about how R-Truth thought that Liv was Carmella?
yeah, yeah. Carmelo even
And he's always loved Carmella.
Carmelo tweeted out that love you too, Truth. Up next, Chad Gable, Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed for the next spot in the men's Money in the Bank. The zombie, Chad Gable. He is going to pick up the win here. Judgment Day helped him out by attacking Braun, giving Chad Gable the opening to pin Bronson Reed. The match didn't really matter because it's what happens after the lights go out. The piano starts to play. Here we come, Wyatt 6, but it isn't the whole group. It's just the Abby the Witch character, Sister Abigail, whatever you prefer, Nikki Cross. Scares Gable out of the ring. He runs for his life. She crawls to Michael Cole with a box, and it was. We'll get to what is in the box later. I want to talk about the way how when a wrestler goes through the crowd, Nikki Cross goes through the crowd here. A wrestler will go through the crowd, and there's normally like a security guard ahead of them and behind them, just making sure not a single security guard with her. She just walked right through, and no fans were like that. All the fans were just we're still like, either this is cool or I'm not fucking with her. Like, it's so good.
Honestly, it's probably a little bit of both because Nikki Cross is a little bit of a firecracker to begin with. She
That's a good
probably
way to put
could
it.
kick your ass. So
Yeah, and also the fans hopefully have a little respect, for the
I think honestly, and fuck Jim Cornette, fuck Dave Meltzer, fuck everybody who hates this shit. This is fucking
Oh
good
yeah,
fucking shit.
we will get to that V8, or we will get to that's in the box.
I'm
There's a
literally
VH.
anything that has happened with the Wyatt Six, I am like glued
Mm,
to what's going on. You're watching everything. You're like going, "What the fuck's going? Holy fuck!"
let
So good.
me.
So I
Okay.
can't. Here's the thing I'm pumped for in the Wyatt Six, and I'm gonna go off for a little bit here. Joe Gacy. This is
Yes.
legit the perfect role for Joe Gacy. I cannot wait to see what they do with Huskus the Pig, Joe Gacy. I feel like he is going to create a legacy for himself upon already Bo's legacy that he's creating, Bray's legacy. Joe is going to come out of this looking like a fucking superstar. I
Mhm.
think this is what pushes Joe over the top to the moon. This is fits Joe perfectly.
No, agreed. And in that box, it is addressed, as I said earlier, to Pat McAfee, but obviously he is not there due to a family emergency. In the box is a VHS tape, which Michael Cole puts over the fact that it's a VHS tape, and he says to those kids watching at home that may not know what this is a VHS tape. I got to send it to the production truck to see if we even have the capabilities to play this. So we'll get to that here in just a bit.
Wouldn't that be wild? I was like, yeah, we can find a VHS, guys.
Sorry.
Can we do it?
That's it. We'll have to do it next week when we bring a VHS tape somewhere.
Not the
Uh,
Amazon one, I guess. I don't know. They sell those on
backstage,
Amazon, right?
maybe backstage. Chad
Fuck, are we?
Gable.
We're just plugging every company out
Yeah,
there.
that's
What other
fine.
companies can we plug tonight?
Um, don't tempt me. I'll start grabbing things. Anyway, backstage. Chad Gable finds the other members of
Oh,
Alpha Academy.
CCM,
There you go.
great hockey company.
Otis and Akira Tozawa want nothing to do with him. Basically, Otis says, "Glad you're okay, but I stand by what I said. We're out." Maxine told Chad that you really, really hurt Otis's feelings. Give him some space. Chad's still looking around, needing help. And who
Break
else?
my fucking heart, Maxine. Jesus
Yeah, that was
Christ.
really good, actually. Uh, Chad gets left by himself, still wanting to find some help. Who's there but the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile to ask if he is okay? I
Oh,
need that. I need
over under on when we get Perk Gable.
soon. We'll see. What we got next? The next match was the Unholy Union, the women's tag team champions. Alba Fire, Isla Dawn have a match with Caden Carter and Katana Chance. They're going to pick up the win, but they get attacked by Damage Control after the match. Here we go. A little more interesting storyline with the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan was seen leaving the Judgment Day clubhouse as Damian Priest goes to enter with the words, "Hi, Damian. Bye, Damian." And she's eating a chicken nugget. Damian says, Dom, I really hope you just ended things, which made me go, why would she be so chipper and happy if Dom just cut? Like, come on, Damian, use your head. So he's expecting to find Dom, but he finds Finn Balor instead. And the questioning of Finn continues. And Finn's like, "What are you talking about, dude? She just came here to inform me that we have a World Tag Team Championship match later tonight."
There's no collusion going on there.
Nothing at all. Seth Rollins and Damian Priest are in the ring to have a verbal confrontation and decided that their match at Money in the Bank has some added stipulations. If Seth Rollins loses, he can never challenge for the championship while Damian is the champion. But if he wins, Damian must leave the Judgment Day. This is where Damian says, "They need me more than I need them." Gunther comes out and doesn't say much. He does not say much. He just looks at both of them and says, "I'm rooting for you, and I'm looking forward to watching your match. But whoever wins between you will lose to me at SummerSlam." That's it.
Why the fuck did Gunther become a Brooklyn gangster?
Love Gunther, man. I love Gunther so much. Oh,
Dude, I popped. Seeing these three in the rain.
and then this Fightful article I'm reading from, they put that all three men came across as baby faces, good guys in this segment. Did they?
No, Gunther is not a babyface. Seth, yes. Damien,
Damien's
yes.
teetering right now. He's teetering right now.
Damien's flipping. Gunther is not a babyface. He's another one that. No, he's a heel all the way. He's a fucking heel.
He's a heel, but we all cheer him.
He's a heel. He's a classic fucking heel.
Yeah.
He's a classic heel.
I had to drink a drink of my Mountain Dew Liberty Chill to get ready for this next segment here. Michael Cole throws to the production cup truck, and we will get the airing of the VHS.
Shout out to Caramel.
Jesus.
Salty Caramel. They do not sponsor us either.
Serious segment here. This is the best segment of Monday Night Raw.
This is the best segment. This is. Do you think Raw could get an Emmy?
Ooh, maybe they're television. I mean, they're weekly.
They are television. Like this segment alone.
We get a Wyatt VHS tape. We finally get to see what was on that tape. We see Uncle Howdy, and he is talking to someone. And so originally, I'm like, it's addressed to Pat McAfee. It's addressed to Pat McAfee, right? And it's like,
Pat's not there. Nobody knows what's going on.
And I want to reiterate, we didn't know at the time that there was a family emergency.
Nobody knew what was going on.
Nobody knew what was going on. All we knew was that there was stuff happening on Pat's show throughout the week with the "You Lied" popping up during the show. So he's talking to someone, and I'm like, oh shit, did he capture Pat? Has he got Pat Becker? And he asked him, who are you? And the camera is blurry, and the face of Bo Dallas comes to screen, and Bo basically says, I am nobody. And in the creepy voice of Uncle Howdy, there you are. It's so good. And then we get Uncle Howdy asking, and just they didn't even beat around the bush with this. He just straight up goes, how did you feel after your brother died? It was like, all right, we're doing it. And Bo Dallas just he speaks. I want to give it Bubba Ray said it best. This was not Bo Dallas talking. This was Taylor Rotunda talking. This was from the heart. Everything he said in this was from the heart. Answering questions of how did you feel when your brother died? And asking the question that I think there's idiots on the internet that are asking, where it feels like, are you exploiting your brother's legacy? Taylor expressed the emotions of wanting to live up to that legacy and how everything was taken away from him. And his goal was to stand side by side with his brother atop the world. And that was taken away from him too soon. And he didn't want his brother's work to become a mausoleum. And at the end, he says, they forgot about us. They forgot about all of us. And we made them remember. We made all of them remember. Uncle Howdy says,
did.
Yes, we did. And the camera zooms out, and you see Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy sitting there in what seems to be the ruins of the Firefly Funhouse.
So this goes back to the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, sitting in the fire inside Bray's head, sitting in the Firefly Funhouse, being grilled. And now in Taylor's and Bo's mind, it's just a burnt down remnant of what it was. Oh, dude, this Bo Taylor saying that it felt like he lost the most important thing in his life when he was taken from him. All he did his entire life was wanting to be just like Bray. That's all he wanted. He wanted to rule together with him. They had made it, and then it was all taken away. I've watched this more than the debut of the Y6. I've seen every time I see it pop up anywhere, I watch the whole thing again. Every time it's. I'm not even kidding about the Emmy thing, man. This was fucking good.
This was
so good.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Perfect. It was perfect. And I don't want to steal what you pitched to me, so please do pitch it.
Yes.
What your idea is.
So what I said to you, and I think that it will work really well for the next 3 weeks, once a week, have an interview between Uncle Howdy and each of the members as themselves, as Nikki Cross. Oh, 4 more members. As Nikki Cross, as Joe Gacy, as Dexter Loomis, and as Eric Rowan. And kind of
So should it be? I agree. I think that'd be amazing. Should it be Howdy or should it be their alter ego doing the interview?
I think it should be Howdy.
I
How
here,
Howdy
here
got them.
here's
How
what
Howdy got them.
here's what I want. Very literally exactly what you were pitching, but Howdy and then sitting across from is the person, but behind them walking and pacing in the background is their alter ego.
That could work too. I just
Um,
think this is
the thing
Uncle
with
Howdy pulling them all in,
yeah,
uniting them to make everybody remember.
what'll be really cool is when they do Dexter Loomis because Dexter doesn't talk,
Oh, he's just gonna sit there and draw pictures.
draw pictures, and just oh, that'd be it. Who knows where they're gonna go with this? But I do like the fact that each week they can just sit down, do a little interview. Or,
They don't. They
share
don't have
everything.
to rush anything. They don't have to rush anything.
Everybody's saying,
They
well,
don't need.
they're gonna
They
get
don't need to
great
get the.
eventually.
They don't need to get them into matches. They can build this for as long as they want and just keep the atmosphere about it. It's there. They got it. They're doing. They're not.
Yeah.
It's
Do you think they have to
if
train?
there was anybody who was going to continue Bray's story, who better than the guy that was right next? And everybody's like going, "Oh, this isn't going to work. This is stealing from Bray's, exploiting his legacy." Bo, this most recent iteration of the Wyatt Six, back to Extreme Rules 2022, Bo was right next to Bray writing that shit. This was their idea together.
Yes.
This wasn't all Bray. This was Bo coming back into the fold and them working together on this. This was both their ideas from the beginning. This wasn't just Bray's idea.
Agreed. But yeah, segment of the week. It was
Segment of the fucking year.
beautiful. I mean, beautiful, perfect, down to the last minute detail.
I can't think. I can't really think of a promo that has hit like that
in a long time.
in all my time of watching wrestling.
I'd have to rack my brain, but nothing comes to mind right off the top of my head. Let's get to the
only
next.
other it doesn't hit the same emotional. The only one that ingrained in my brain is the Brian Pillman Stone Cold thing, but that's not even the same level of. It's a totally different spectrum. I'm just saying it's the one that pops in my head whenever I think of great promos. But this one is top tier, fucking one of the best.
Up next, Karrion Kross and Kofi Kingston have their match. Karrion Kross is going to pick up the win after Kofi got distracted because backstage footage shown of Xavier Woods getting the living hell beat out of him by the Final Testament. And this is a quick. Are you doing 7? This was the 7th former WWE champion that Karrion Kross has defeated. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. The main event, the World Tag Team Championship on the line. The Awesome Truth defending against the Judgment Day. Judgment Day are going to get the win here and get back those titles. It helped because Liv Morgan showed up to distract Truth originally, saying, thank you. Oh my gosh, we're doing it. Truth's like, yeah, I got a match. Yeah, this is great, Carmella. And Liv attacks Truth, allowing Finn Balor to pick up the win with the coup de grace. Morgan celebrates with him after the match. The show went off the air with Michael Cole basically questioning whether or not Morgan was Judgment Day's equivalent to Yoko Ono.
I mean, if you want to just come out and say the Judgment Day's breaking up, you might as well just have said it at that point.
Yeah. Liv.
I'm sorry, this isn't Liv Morgan's the Yoko Ono. This is Liv and Finn hatching out the end of a 3-year plan to take down the Judgment Day.
I really hope you're right. I really do. Because, well, actually, no, I hope you're wrong. Because if you're right, Jesus Christ, you're not going to shut the fuck up about it.
At that point, I might as well just write for WWE.
Yeah, you might as well be like, just send in each individual episode, go through each episode, cut it to where you were like, hey, this is what's going on. And then they'll be like, okay, who told this guy? Who told him? What do you think of Monday Night Raw before we move forward to NXT?
I was drained by the end of this one, man. In a good way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, not like in a I'm ready to go to bed way, and it was in a
No, I was like,
holy
I just
shit.
watched 3 hours of a lot of shit happening and everything hitting on perfect, everything firing like a Chevy V8 1834752 cycle, you know, like I honestly don't know if that's a cycle, but if any Chevy fans do know the cycle that a Chevy engine fires in, I'm right.
I want to preface before we get to Dynamite. This is not me rushing things or anyway to you, RK. I do not want to spend a lot of time when we get to Dynamite because I have not much to talk about. I have an idea, and I think we just need to talk about what the hell went wrong because I'm not going through that entire card, but I am going to go through this entire card of NXT because NXT is continuously doing
Um,
what WWE is doing, and it is still doing
um,
shit.
um,
What's
I'm
up?
the one who's supposed to hate on AEW.
Oh no! After the shit show, let me watch my hands here. Watch my hands here. The shit show that we watched. Damn it, the balloons! I tried to do it quick enough, but you didn't look quick enough. Let's talk about NXT before we get to Dynamite. I'm just there. I'm irritated. This is the NXT from June 25th, 2024. We kick things off with Ava speaking to referees, security guards, asking them to keep things on point tonight. We've had an individual, we talked about Brooks Jensen, showing up, and he keeps somehow showing up. So we need to lock in. And there's been this, this
If
group.
this isn't a story, NXT has the worst security protocols in the history of anything.
um, the there, he basically he's like, hey, the Wyatt Six, man, gotta be careful here.
I don't
She
even think
didn't.
this was referencing the Wyatt Six in
It
any way
wasn't.
whatsoever.
It wasn't. But this is how WWE is right now, and the fans that watch everything like we do, we're like, that security's not just for Brooks Jensen. It's a whole thing with the Wyatt Six because you don't know what they're gonna do. Vic Joseph, Booker T. I
I'm
think
pretty. I mean, Joe probably has some fucking hatchets to
that's what I'm
bury down there.
saying. That's what I'm saying. You never know. Uh, we said this while we were watching it. Vic Joseph, Booker T. Give them the credit, man. They're a fantastic team on commentary, and I think I just said every commentary team is just really, really good on WWE right now. Cole, Pat, they're fantastic together. I love Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. Corey Graves has settled in perfectly to that lead role since taking over.
100%. I didn't think that he could pull off the full time commentator role over color. Not a lot of guys can do that. A lot of guys have tried and failed miserably,
Mhm.
but Michael Cole is obviously one, and Corey Graves is now another. He has fit right into that full time commentary role perfectly, and he somehow managed to do a borderline face turn in the process too.
Yeah, because he's like the lead guy is normally the face and all
Yes,
that. So
yeah.
he's working on it. Let's start things off here. The NXT Tag Team Championship #1 contenders tag team Royal match kicks off. Basically, one team wins and a new one will come in to replace the team that got defeated. The teams kicking things off were New Catch Republic taking on Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. New Catch Republic is going to pick up the win in the first one. Coming out to meet New Catch Republic next would be Legado del Fantasma. I'll pause.
My God, at this point, was I confused?
Oh, I had to tell you what was going on, didn't I? I was like,
I
hey,
was like, why is the ref allowing this to
yeah,
happen?
yeah.
They're just beating. What the fuck's going on? And
Legado
then the
just
match
showed
was
up.
good. Then there was a pin, and I'm like, what the fuck is going? And then they mentioned the gauntlet match. I was like, oh,
Yeah. The next team to come
I
out.
was so confused. I'm like, what the fuck is this ref? Did they hire an AEW ref? What's going on here?
Legado comes out next to challenge New Catch Republic. Legado is going to take the loss against New Catch here in the second go around. They get the win because Apollo Crews distracts the Garza cousins, allowing Tyler Bate to pick up the win. The next team to challenge New Catch Republic would be the OC, the Good Brothers, whatever you want to call them, Bullet Club. Too sweet. The Big LG, Luke Gallows, and the Machine Gun Carl.
I was doing it, but I
Anderson.
was below camera. I wasn't
So you
looking.
didn't get the
Sorry.
too sweet in. Boom. New Catch Republic's gonna pin Tyler Bate pins Carl Anderson with an inside cradle. After the match, OTM, Luciana Price, and Bronco Nima confront the Good Brothers on the ramp. The final team to enter the gauntlet match was the team of Andre Chase and Duke Hudson from Chase University. They are going to pick up the win over New Catch Republic. The highlight of this one, besides Thea Hale, because Thea Hale is Thea Hale, and she is energetic as all hell, and she will catch your eye in a heartbeat, was when I think it was Tyler Bate went to dive on Andre Chase on the ring side. He jumped over the ropes, but Ridge Holland made the save and pushed Andre out the way to take the brunt of the force, leading to a crossbody press for the 1, 2, 3. Chase University will be challenging Nathan Frazier and Axiom at Heatwave for the tag team titles.
It's a good match. It was fun. Some of the pinfalls were really fast, though. That kind of caught me off guard. But
yeah,
after I knew what was going on, I really dialed into this match, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was a cool, just New Catch. It's polarizing tag team right now. Are they main roster? Are they NXT? They've been down in NXT a lot.
I said that.
But them sticking in this match pretty much all the way through to the end. And then Chase U picking up the win. Chase U's kind of, they're an important thing right now because this Ridge Holland shit's going on, and they just picked up this momentum where
and everybody
they're not 100% on board with everything, and it might go sideways at some point. But right now, I'm enjoying it. And once again, Thea Hale looks great, amazing. She posted a picture on Instagram saying it was a spicy picture, and her caption was "Getting hot for Heat Wave." And then I think Chelsea Green commented, and it's like, yes, it is.
RK is on Instagram now. You've caught up with the times, my friend. Backstage, Roxanne Perez is confronting Carmen Petrovich after saying Lola Vice was unfazed by her attack last week. So basically, they're playing into what we saw, or we talked about this while watching it happen on NXT, was when Lola and Roxanne picked up the tag team win. Roxanne hit her with like a spinning back fist, and Lola basically no-sold it, and causing Roxanne to give her a kick. Well, fast forward to this week, and they're kind of just making an acknowledgement of the fact that Lola no-sold that shit. So Carmen was saying, look, she didn't even phase by it, which sets up a match with Roxanne and Carmen Petrovich later in the night. Are you okay?
No, I'm not. Why are we pushing Lola? Why? She's so, very first time we watched Lola wrestle, I buried her. I said she sucks. Get her out of the ring. Send her somewhere lesser that she can train until she's ready. And then the week after, I'm like, okay, maybe I was a little harsh. That wasn't too bad. And then it's just been all back downhill again. And I hate Lola Vice. I hate her. Don't like her. Don't want to see her on TV. Don't want to watch any of her matches. I don't like it.
Ethan Page,
which is strange as shit, because usually if you're a Latina, I'm all over that shit.
Ethan Page is in the ring to cut his promo, where he is going to previews the NXT Heatwave card before declaring that he was the rightful number one contender for the title after not being eliminated in the Battle Royal and beating Joanne Evans in the same night, leading him to call Ava out, who Ava appears but gets interrupted by Shawn Spears. Shawn compares his road in wrestling to Page before calling him an imitator. Trick Williams interrupts and says they don't care who I face, he'll still whoop that Trick. Spears and Page go to attack Trick before Javon comes in to make the save, planting the seeds for what we will find out later in the night. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate confront Ridge Holland after he got involved in their match, saying that he had a receipt coming for him. Hank and Tank confront Dunne and Bate after that and challenge them to a tag match in the name of competition for next week, which Bate and Dunne accept. So we're getting more New Catch Republic on NXT next week. Stevie Turner, Rob Stone are bragging of "I'm better than you. I'm doing a better job as Ava's assistant." Story going on. You seem to really like Stevie Turner. She's growing.
I'm enamored with Stevie Turner right now. I'm digging it. I like it.
Up next, the next match, I should say, Wesley taking on Joe Coffey. Wesley's going to pick up the win via cardiac kick. Obafemi appears on the Ravens Nest, revealing Lee will have your title. You get your title match at NXT Heat Wave. So Wesley Obafemi, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, if Wes loses, he can't challenge for it again as long as Oba's champion. Is that correct?
Yes, that is the stipulation. I find it hard to believe that this match isn't going to be anything except Oba just breaking Wesley in half.
Yeah, I mean they could spin it, and I'm okay. I'm okay getting the title off of Oba if that means he's going to go after the big title. Because
Yes, but I just
don't see Wesley
Oba.
beating Oba. I know. Oba big, Oba
Although it
strong,
is
Oba
cool,
great.
it is cool to see them setting up the idea that Wesley can hit that cardiac kick from pretty much anywhere. Though that was
True.
cool. That's
True.
such a cool finisher.
So we will see that will be taking place on Heatwave. NXT Heritage Cup match up next. Nathan Frazier, who seems to be wanting to challenge for everything but worry about the NXT Tag Team titles.
This is good shit, man. It's good. Him and Axiom have so much chemistry together, man. It's good.
Heritage Cup match. So it's the best out of three. First to two falls wins 6 rounds max. Tony D is going to defend his title and defeat Nathan Frazier in round 6, winning 2 falls to 1. This was actually a really cool little match. I still am not behind the whole Heritage Cup rules thing. I don't get it. I'm not bought into it. But yeah,
Nathan seems to think it's a big deal.
obsessed.
I know you like these. It got a little repetitive for me, the spine busters. There's a lot of them.
That seems to be
But
Tony's go-to.
outside of that, this match was fucking good. It was a good match. Good match.
Mm-hmm. Really good match. Javon Evans is speaking with Trick Williams backstage, where he offers to be in his corner for tonight's match against Sean. Trick appreciates the offer, but he says he's weary of people having his back and would prefer to lock in on his own to adapt each other up. And that was that.
DTA. Don't trust anybody.
That's, I think, what Trick is working with now. What do we got here? NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez is going to take on Carmen Petrovich. She is going to pick up the win via the Pop Rocks. Lola Vice was on commentary. She comes in the ring and attacks Perez with a vicious back fist, which Perez sells. Vice grabs the NXT Women's title and takes it with her as she goes into the back.
Honestly, if this was me and writing this shit, I would have had Perez no sell that shit. But
Have her pop right
it was
back.
nice seeing Perez basically get a squash over Carmen, though. I mean, that's more or less what that match was.
Yeah, I mean, makes your champion look strong, as she should.
Yeah.
Noam Dar is FaceTiming Jakar Jackson, Lash Legend, and Aura Mensa. Reveals that Ethan Page tore a tendon on his leg, so he'll be out for a while. Mensa said he never thought he would be here when he was in Nigeria, reflected on moving to Switzerland after his dad was in a car wreck, which led to him and his brother being put in a foster home for a bit. Mensa said he did not feel at home until he met the Metaphor and promised he will take down Ethan Page with vengeance. We basically got the backstory of Aura Mensa's life here.
That was actually kind of like out of left field, but
yeah, I did not see that coming at all. But then I'm like, oh, okay, Aura, like, damn.
Jesus, I'm go, brother, go.
Backstage, the Good Brothers are attacking OTMs, Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. Jada Parker confronts them, leading to Mia Yim attacking Jada out of nowhere. Parker and Michin were separated by security guards and referees. We get Carly Bright being told that she will face Wendy Chu next week. Lola Vice meets with Ava, gives her the NXT Women's title before telling her she wants a shot at NXT Heatwave for the NXT Women's Championship.
Where this leads to was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, Tavion Heights. Oh, here we go. Tavion Heights is taking on Damon Kip up next with the stipulation that if Tavion beats Damon, he would be a part of the No Quarter Catch Crew. No.
Yep.
Is that right? No Quarter Catch Crew.
Well, whoever wins this match is in No Quarter Catch Crew.
Yeah. Tavion wins with a spinning belly-to-belly suplex. There you go. Tavion's in. Charlie Dempsey could have just said he was in last week, but nope, had to have a match against Damon. So
yeah, it's fucking weird.
This was a low light. Backstage NXT North American Women's Champion Kailani Jordan is being interviewed by Kelly Kincaid, where she said she looked forward to the winner of Ariana Grace versus Sol Ruka. Then Jada storms into the room and challenges Michin to a street fight next week. So it was next. It is on NXT next week, not Heatwave. Brinley Reese is congratulating Edris Inofe and Malik Blade on their efforts at the tag team turmoil, and I think it was Malik saying, "We lost in the first thing, but all right, thanks." Axiom. Oh, was this where Tatum Paxley was in the background?
Yeah, Izzy Dame came out. Tatum Paxley was behind the glass, and Izzy got mad for it and went slam and
Tatum just flew backwards. We get Axiom giving positive words for Frazier for his match against D'Angelo, and he says, "Hey, we need to watch some tape because we're going to be taking on Chase U, and those guys are pretty good." And Frazier says, "Yeah, I would love to, but I got to get my back checked out, and oh yeah, I have a WWE speed match tomorrow against Akira Tozawa. So after that, I'll watch tape for the tag team title match." Frazier is just going after everything, didn't he?
I said these two have such great chemistry together. Such great chemistry.
Oh, the NXT Women's North American Championship #1 contenders match. Sol Ruka takes on Ariana Grace. Sol is going to pick up the win here in a pretty decent match between the two. She wins, of course, with the prettiest finisher in NXT right now, Soul Snatcher. They had to do it twice, though. She slipped on the ropes the first time, but they recovered pretty damn good to get the finish. And 1, 2, 3. Sol Ruka versus Kailani Jordan will be happening. I don't know if it's been announced for Heatwave, but I assume it will be taking place there at
The
Heatwave.
first title defense. Well, second.
Yeah. So that
Anyways, unless the big takeaway from this is Ariana Grace growing on us.
Yeah. She's great. Her promos and all that she's fantastic. She plays her role perfectly. Her in-ring, I was kind of a little skeptical about, but this was a pretty good match in my eyes.
It was a good match. And the way that they both didn't panic when Solo missed that first. They got back, got a couple quick kicks, and reset it up, and
then hit it. Here we go. Roxanne storms in the locker room, says that Ava was behind Lola Vice going after her, and this was all Ava's fault. Ava was not having it, and announced that Perez would defend her title against Lola Vice on NXT Heatwave.
I laughed so hard when I saw this. Oh, Ava going, yeah, I went out there and stole your title from you. Oh, I just like I'm really Ava's killing it, man. She's doing a good job.
She is done from where she started to where she is now, miles ahead.
Hell, even 6 months ago to where she is now, she's killing it.
The main event is up next with Shawn Spears taking on the NXT champion Trick Williams. Ethan Page on commentary for the match, but he gets attacked by Ora Mensah. Mensah and Page battle their way through a crowd of security guards as they go to separate them. Williams and Spears brawl to the outside where Brooks Jensen appears from the crowd, throws candy from the table that Vic Joseph puts there on the commentary table, throws it at Vic Joseph before slamming the cover of the broadcast table onto Trick Williams' head, allowing Spears to get Williams in the ring to hit the C4 onto the bottom turnbuckle for the win. So Shawn Spears stands tall here. He is now, if you look at it, has beat Javon. You are not in frame, my friend. You need to get in frame.
I know. I was looking at something.
So Shawn has pinned Javon Evans and has pinned Trick Williams. So there is that. Backstage, we see as the show closes, Ava with Robert Stone and Stevie Turner. And Robert Stone and Stevie Turner are so over that they were doing good work as assistant GMs. But now they're, oh my God, Ava, what are you going to do? And Ava makes the NXT title match a fatal 4-way at Heatwave as we end the broadcast.
Where'd this come from?
Yeah, we saw it when all 4 of the competitors were laid out in the ring and the title was in the middle of them. Can't wait to see that be used in a promo. Can't wait to see that be used in a promo.
Overhead shot of 4 guys laid out with the title in the middle of them. All of them perfectly pointed. Yeah, no, that's not obvious.
I just accidentally closed my AEW review. What'd you think of NXT?
It was good. I mean, it was one of those shows where nothing crazy memorable happened, but nothing bad enough happened that made me want to bitch about it. So it was just an average NXT. Setting up for Heatwave. It's almost basically a go home show. I mean,
they still got one more? We got one more NXT.
One more, yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
I'd just like to say that I saw a report on a guy that covers wrestling shows, and his AEW Dynamite rating was 9 out of 10 this week.
What'd he watch?
Like I said, I can't wait for maybe he has that access to all the old Dynamite shows, and he was watching a 2022 show.
Yeah, maybe he watched the date from 2 years ago.
Yeah,
because he couldn't have watched August 26, 2024 AEW Dynamite.
The guy that I usually check out all the time, he gave it a 7 out of 10, which I felt was a little generous too, but better.
I mean
Anyways,
this when I say I don't want to go through this. I really don't want.
Well, we have to be impartial. No, that's not. We have to give our opinion on this shit.
Okay, here's my opinion. I didn't like Dynamite.
Okay, can we talk about? Okay, I'm gonna take the reins here. This is gonna be awkward as fuck. But here we are, last push before Forbidden Door. Let's go home show. They're always historically really fucking good. I'm gonna have fun with this.
I'm here
To start off,
I'll do your color. I'll do your color commentary. Come on.
To start off the show, we have MJF. So bravo AEW. You're bringing out your top star to open your show. That's how you do this. We get Daniel Garcia right away.
Yeah, I was excited for a couple seconds.
What?
Hometown. Danny Garcia is from Buffalo, New York, apparently. So this was his hometown, and he was going to get a big pop.
Okay, cool. So MJF went from Roosh to Daniel Garcia. Basically, this whole promo goes on. Daniel Garcia talks a whole bunch. MJF kind of just chills there. Did somebody else come out? No. No. Oh, Ospreay came out. That's right. Ospreay came out. I forgot about this part. Ospreay came out. So now,
Ooh.
you got Ospreay.
Ooh.
Why are MJF Garcia is bad enough? Now you got Ospreay coming out and offering Garcia title shots, saying that international and world title shot.
The title he doesn't even have yet.
Yeah. So
where at?
All In.
Oh, their big show, the big one, and we're gonna put mid card Danny Garcia on there, who just humps the air, and that apparently is
mid card,
and people love that.
That's generous.
Can I just say, and I'm gonna read this tweet because I screenshotted it for this episode. MJF, Samoa Joe, correct? Both former champions, both lost the title. Wouldn't Samoa Joe and MJF only care about one thing, getting that AEW title back? Wouldn't that be the thing they come out and talk about every week? Why are they both meandering in the mid-card clown shit show? They didn't even get rematches. Do they even care anymore? We don't know, because we're doing shit with Danny Garcia, Hechafucko, and Roosh for MJF. And Samoa Joe, and I don't actually hate the whole Samoa Joe thing right now, but I'm also not the biggest fan of it at the same time. What are we fucking doing?
I this is why I don't lead shows, but nonetheless, I do not. No, it's fine. I do not like MJF, Will Ospreay, Okada, any of your top guys doing nothing but top guy stuff. I don't like it. This is like Cody Rhodes feuding with fucking Tony D'Angelo. Like,
really pulled a random ass one out there, didn't you?
I'm sorry. I went down to NXT and I picked an NXT. This would be like him feuding with an NXT star. Yeah, they're stars in NXT, but they're not stars in WWE. So nonetheless, all this fucking just a stupid MJF. If anything, it should just be MJF and Ospreay feuding. Make that a feud. Not why are we throwing Daniel Garcia? Why are you trying to make something out of Daniel Garcia? I don't want to see this fucking stupid ass dance.
I'll take back the lead role. I'll get my shit together here.
Thank God, because I am a color guy.
Can we talk about the fact that basically this was MJF and Will Ospreay having a hard-on for a match with Daniel Garcia is what it was.
Which is fucking weird.
So basically MJF gets pissed off. He was overshadowed by the offer that Ospreay gave Danny, and Danny goes to say, hey, about that match that you want to give me at Wembley, and MJF says, no, that's a big opportunity for you. Good luck. And he storms off. We don't get any answer either from MJF. We have no more MJF for the rest of the night, by the way.
It almost seems like MJF was pissed about the segment, doesn't it?
I mean, he's good. He's great. He's great at what he does. Maybe he didn't know. He probably knew. I don't fucking care. Backstage, Swerve Strickland is pissed off that Will is offering world championship matches, and he hasn't even won the championship, and tells Will, better be prepared.
Hey, is your mic on?
Yeah.
Okay, I just couldn't hear you.
Why?
I can't. I underhanded the ball to you. Remember when Swerve?
Oh,
you fucking idiot!
Sorry. This is how much I give a fuck, dude. I don't care about this show.
But this was so good, and I just gave you the perfect setup, and you fucking ruined it. You fucking dick.
We're talking about this absolute shit show that people are giving.
I know, but I just gave you a chance to fucking.
So we cut back.
I hate you right now. I fucking hate you right now.
Go ahead, do it again.
No, how can I do it now? How can I do it now?
Swerve Strickland's backstage, and he's talking about Will Ospreay offering chances for a title he doesn't even have yet. And in the background, you hear the crowd chanting, "We can't hear you." Somebody didn't turn the audio on in the arena, so nobody heard half of Swerve Strickland's promo. Just that sums up the absolute shit show that fucking Dynamite was.
Okay, I forgive you, but still, I'm kind of pissed off. Nonetheless.
Los Ingobernales de Japón. Shingo Takagi, Titan, and Hiromu Takahashi are taking on Blackpool Combat Club's John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. LIG is going to pick up the win over Blackpool Combat Club because John Moxley just randomly grabbed a chair and hit Takahashi with it. Brawl breaks out. Naito comes out, attacks John Moxley. Shingo's attacking Yuta. Bryan Danielson comes out. Bryan Danielson, who chose to stay on commentary when all the fighting was going on, finally comes to ensure that Shingo doesn't damage Yuta further. Furthering the stuff for Forbidden Door here. What'd you think of this match since your faves were involved?
I fucking love Naito, man. He is a superstar. I really can't explain it. I love every time I watch him. He just his charisma. The first thing that I ever saw with Naito was one of the first matches we ever watched, and the amount of time he took to get off his suit.
Yeah.
And how much he was pissed off. I think it was Moxley.
Yes.
And Moxley was just pissed, and I'm just like, this is fucking, that's good shit. One little thing that I want to bring up is, like, wasn't it like 2 weeks ago that Castagnoli was just right pissed off at losing a match, and now, like, what happened to that?
Who did he lose to? He lost to Pac.
Yeah, what happened to that pissed? He's just back normal now. Like, we're not gonna elaborate on the story that you could be telling with that right now. Anyways, nonetheless, continue on.
Don't get me started.
I'm not gonna give you long-winded commentary here. I'm just gonna give you quick little pieces. Let's go.
I hate this show so much. You have no idea. 7 out of 10 from your guy. You should send him an email and be, what the fuck are you?
You hated this a little bit more than I did, because I didn't think it was a horrible. I did walk away and Zack Sabre came on. I'll tell you that much. But
I was walking around the room trying to find my suit jacket. Owen Hart Cup tournament first round. I actually did kind of like this match. Jay White taking on Ray Phoenix. Jay White is going to pick up the win and advance the Owen Hart tournament. The Bullet Club Gold were in the ring celebrating and are interrupted by Christian Cage, Mother Wayne, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne. They come out and they confront the World Trios champions. I guess we're maybe setting up the what is the group called? What is Christian's group called? Patriarchy. The Patriarchy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
versus the Bullet Club Gold. I thought both of those teams were heels. Or Bullet Club Gold teetering.
Bullet Club Gold's teetering just
That's
because of
fair.
how big Jay White is, and I think
And
thank
people
God they're
love
getting him
Juice.
some wins.
People love Juice Robinson. People love Juice
That's true
Robinson
too.
too. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. The Young Bucks are backstage. They say the wild card in the Owen Hart tournament is someone from the Elite. I bet it's going to be Hangman Page.
It's a good chance.
The Acclaims, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, and Daddy Ass hit the ring. They cut a promo. They don't get interrupted right away or cut off, but they start cutting a promo on the Bucks. The Elite and Okada come out. Okada gets to say the word that apparently makes AEW fans come every time he says it. Shut up, bitches. Is that what he said this week? Or did he say something different?
Something along the lines. I still can't get over the fact that you stole this motherfucker away from New Japan because he's arguably because he's arguably the best wrestler in the world, and you just have him come over to win a mid card title and say bitches every week.
That's what I was gonna say. Just says bitches every
Like,
week. So they come out and they
for the
challenge.
fucking love of God with the shit. I'm with you on this. This pisses me off. Okada, even though I'm not a huge fan of his style and how he wrestles, he has what takes to be the biggest guy, and they're burying their fucking talent left and right, which is what's going to happen at Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm. So the Bucks and Okada challenge Bowens, Caster, and Billy Gunn to a match at Forbidden Door. Billy Gunn deflects the offer and says, "I have someone different for in place of himself," and it is Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi says he's coming to open the door and calls himself the Scissor Ace.
Seemed a little forced, but okay.
We get the weekly thing, basically the weekly occurrence now of Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy together backstage with Renee Paquette. And Mark Briscoe does his usual, let me try and get you pumped up promo. Kyle O'Reilly interrupts and takes over and tries to do it himself, which got a little bit of a pop out of me. Briscoe finishes it up. They storm off, and Orange Cassidy does his, I'm cool and I'm going to be quiet, and how you doing, Renee, and then just walk away. What'd you think?
I liked the first 2 weeks of Mark Briscoe doing this shit. This it's getting a little old already.
Yeah, it's kind of
I don't
repetitive,
know.
just like Okada coming out every week and saying bitches.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like they latch on to something that popped one week and they try to keep doing the same thing every week, and it doesn't work every week the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys it does work, like the Orange Cassidy thing. That's his gimmick. That's
Yeah.
who he is. They just found something that worked for Mark Briscoe, and now they're trying it every week, and it's nosediving. I didn't pop like this week like I did the past 2 weeks for it. I'm just kind of like, yeah, they've done it twice now. Let's move on.
Up next, probably the best story on AEW television right now. Tony Storm, Mariah May, and Mina Shikara defeat Soraya, Anna Jay, and Harley Cameron in a trios match. After the match, Mariah May goes to do the champagne toast and wants Mina and Tony to do it. Mina goes to hit Tony in the back of the head with the champagne bottle. She ducks, hits Mariah. Tony seemed more generally concerned for Mariah than Mina did. Like I said, this might be the best story they got going on here with Mina, Tony, and Mariah.
While I'm not a fan of rivals teaming together, I just can't stand that shit. Yes, this is the best story they have. They've been pumping it for about a month now. I like it.
Yeah, Mina's done pretty good, honestly. Coming for someone that doesn't,
She's a good wrestler too. The matches she's had have been entertaining.
and for someone that doesn't speak English as her first language, that contract signing promo, she did a pretty good job for someone that don't speak English.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll get stay tuned to the channel. We'll do our Forbidden Door predictions, and we'll see who we got winning between Tony and Mina Shikirakawa. Fuck. Backstage. Or sorry, not backstage. Promo. Oh wait, no. Mercedes is shown backstage. We get a promo for her taking on Stephanie. Vacour says she's going to be at Collision to watch Stephanie's match against Lady Frost up close. So Stephanie is having a match with Lady Frost on Collision. I don't know the results, but I think Stephanie wins probably.
I assume so. I don't know. I don't pay attention to Collision. Monet Mercedes says, "I'm here, but it's funny that Valkyria Stephanie isn't here." It's like, well, no shit. She's not an AEW roster member. Why would she be there? She's coming in for Forbidden Door because that's what you guys do at Forbidden Door. You cross companies, but she's not an AEW superstar. Why the fuck would she be there?
Who's writing this shit?
We all know there's only one person that writes this shit.
He's got a team of writers. He just tells them what to write. Right? Doesn't he?
Oh, he never told me to do the Finn Balor thing, but it was literally after Dynamite. A day in the life of Finn Balor.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. But I was gonna actually going into this was gonna say that was my wrestler of the week, and then you can do the story for that unless he's your wrestler of the week too.
He is my wrestler for the week.
I'll let you have it, and I'll find a different one. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith. This is the best segment on the night. Keith's arm is in a sling, and he cannot compete at Forbidden Door. Jericho says, "Don't worry. Hi, guys. I have a backup plan." And he throws it to, okay, let me do this the right way. Joe, Hook, and Shibata are confronting, Jericho about having that trios match at Forbidden Door with him. And Jericho says, "Don't worry, guys. I reached out to an old friend," which there actually is a bit of a long-term thing here. In the past Forbidden Doors, Jericho and Minoru Suzuki have tag teamed together. So Jericho says he reached out to Minoru Suzuki again here. We didn't watch the video, but here is him probably accepting to be on our team to face you guys at Forbidden Door. The video plays, and it is Minoru Suzuki saying, "I want nothing to do with the tag match. I want to challenge you for the FTW title at the pay-per-view."
That was good. See, this is what pissed me off. AEW does do some really good shit, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
And then they do all the other shit, and it's like, it's like the reverse of Dumb and Dumber. It's like, just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself. Well, AEW seems to do the complete opposite of that and go, just when I thought you can do anything dumber, you go and do this and just make yourself look dumber.
Joe's crew and Learning Tree uh, go at it a little bit after Jericho slapped Joe. So the status for this match on Sunday night has not been clarified. I'm hearing rumblings that that spot will be filled by Jeff Cobb, and Jericho may not defend the title against Minoru. I'll have to look it up once we get done with this.
If they do that, they again find a way to be dumber. You got to have
I
Jericho versus Suzuki.
I thought Jeff Cobb was doing an open challenge for his New Japan TV title or whatever. I think it's what he has. Internet Championship, whatever it is that
I
Cobb
don't know. They have
holds.
a lot of them over there. They're all really shiny.
But in my mind, I was like, oh shit, if Jeff Cobb does an open challenge, who'd be perfect? Who just got released? Who can go wherever he wants? Be cool to see Dijak versus Jeff Cobb. Because we watched that Jeff Cobb match with Henry.
Yeah.
I think it was.
And there.
Jeff Cobb was doing some shit that made me go, oh my God. And I like Jeff Cobb. I think he's fantastic.
Doesn't he do like a standing shooting star?
Yeah, big guy.
Yeah.
Big guy. Up next is where we both walked away.
Don't ask me. I didn't watch this match. I walked away. I fucking hate Zack Sabre Jr. beyond all belief. I will not watch his shit.
I'm not going to talk about the match, but I'm going to talk about the activity that was going on before and after. Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett are ringside watching Kyle, but they're joined by Gabe Kidd for some reason. Gabe Kidd and Roderick Strong versus the Infantry was a match that was announced for Friday's episode of Rampage. However, there were also disagreements during the match between Gabe and Roderick. Roddy was showing some concern for Kyle, blah, blah, blah. Cassidy checks on Kyle as well after the match, but blah, blah, blah. What do we got? Orange checks on Kyle after the match. Oh, sorry. Zack Sabre Jr. beat Kyle O'Reilly. Zach, who was then flanked by Shane Haste and Robbie Eagles from TMDK. And then out of nowhere, Orange Cassidy's good old buddy, Tomorrow Ishii, did show up to provide some assistance for Cassidy. And the whole time,
I did run for this. I did run for this part because I'm like, oh shit, Ishii's there. Let's go.
the whole time, Gabrielle Kidd was just yelling at people from the apron.
Which is kind of funny. I am.
All that was a
I
cluster.
know. All I know is I started this by saying I'll never watch a Zack Sabre match. I have to this weekend because it's Orange Cassidy, but I really don't want to. I really don't.
Yeah. Tough. It's gonna be tough.
And this asshole here, first time we watch a Zack Sabre match, like, oh, this should be a good match. I heard he's really good.
I've heard really good things about him. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. Your first match watching Zack Sabre Jr. was my first match watching Zack Sabre Jr., and I apologize profusely. Main event: Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay teaming together. Can they coexist? They'll be taking on the Gates of Agony. This match was obviously the best hits for both of the guys. They coexisted pretty well. The best part of the match was near the end when Will Ospreay had either Bishop Khan or Toa Leona, I don't know which one, set up to do the Tiger Driver, and Swerve was hanging onto the ring ropes saying, "Do it. Do it. I want you to do it." Will couldn't do it. There's a house call. There's a hidden blade. There's a I can do this move. You can do that move. I'm better than you. Show off our moves. Deal. Obviously, Swerve and Will pick up the win over the Gates of Agony. After the match, Swerve Strickland and Ospreay do a stare down again. Ospreay takes the title from Swerve, but this time Swerve lays him out, and that is the final shot. And that is the final shot we get of Dynamite before we get to Forbidden Door on Sunday. And as I showed earlier, my Will Ospreay Bruv jersey is in, and I really do like this jersey, even though I hate AEW right now for what they're doing. But I love Will Ospreay. So teach their own.
Outside of the Zack Sabre match, I didn't think this was horrible, but that's just me. It wasn't good. It wasn't horrible though. It wasn't horrible though.
Maybe it wasn't that bad, but their track record recently has not had my interest.
That's fair. Also, can we maybe agree on something here?
Yeah.
Will Ospreay, Tiger Driver. Does he use it at Forbidden Door?
I'll talk about it when we get to our predictions.
Okay.
Tune into predictions if you want to talk about that, brother.
Okay.
Well, with that being said, that's AEW Dynamite from June 26th, 2024. I'm going to keep so we'll go here. Let's so you can see the beautiful screen. I almost treat these as like the nominees for Wrestler of the Week, even though maybe we may have one that you don't put up here. But RK, who is your Wrestler of the Week?
Well, I'm going to start by taking you guys through a day in the life of Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Let me just find it here.
He wakes up.
Ready to go.
He takes a massive shit
Okay.
in the hotel room. Anyway.
Finn Balor. Journal entry. June 24th, 2024. I played some WWE 2K24 with the boys. I beat up Strowman with his gang, with the boys. I spent some time with Liv Morgan. Played some more WWE 2K24. I won the tag titles in the main event of Raw. It was a good night.
It was what a day in Indianapolis, Indiana for Finn Balor.
Anyways, my wrestler of the week is Finn Balor because everything that's going on right now, I think Finn Balor comes out of all of this high, up high, riding a wave that might take him to the world title again.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Mine was going to be Finn, but I'm going to take one off the screen too. My wrestler of the week is the Jacob Fatu, just for the fact that
debut.
Just for the fact that Jacob Fatu is here. Last week our wrestler of the week was together. We both just said the White Six. Jacob Fatu for me. He is here. He you see how he looks in that picture. He is slimmed down and he looks great now.
Oh, he's jacked.
Jacked, in shape, ready to go. Can't wait to watch SmackDown after we get done doing this. My wrestler of the week, Jacob Fatu. What is your show from those four of the week?
Dynamite. I'm kidding.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Top Rope What was your
Last
show?
show ever. Show of the week, Raw. I enjoyed the shit out of this because so much got accomplished in 3 hours. They packed in a lot of story. We had some good matches, and we had the Emmy-winning interview with Taylor Rotunda.
I was going after watching SmackDown. I was like, SmackDown's my show of the week. They did. It was a really good show, and the Jacob Fatu arrival was fantastic. And then Monday Night Raw happened, and I was like, never mind. Monday Night Raw is my show of the week too. Just for the simple fact of that promo with Taylor and Uncle Howdy and all that was just perfect.
Well, you see, they accomplished so much with that promo, really, when you thought about it, because everybody's like going, oh, they're going to do the supernatural shit. That's going to be fucking stupid. Well, no, actually, they're doing this as the broken mind of Taylor Rotunda angle. This is more than just Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, the Whites. This is Taylor Rotunda's fucking story. This is more than this is not a super. This is the mind of a broken man. Like this is serious shit, and it's gonna be so good.
Can't wait. That's a wrap. That is a wrap for this week in wrestling, episode number 12 here from Top Rope Renegades. Stay tuned to the channel if you're watching this before AEW Forbidden Door. We'll be putting out the predictions for that. We're going to record that actually right after we do this, or we're going to take a break and watch SmackDown. I don't know.
That's questionable.
Actually, I don't think we can because we don't know what's happening yet. We may. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't.
We have to watch SmackDown. We're watching SmackDown.
Yeah, that's fair. But we'll figure out some predictions, ideas for AEW Forbidden Door. The whole card may not be announced before an hour before the show. Who knows? Because it's AEW and that's how they roll. We're going to tune into SmackDown that we just was finished a couple hours ago. Watch that, and we will be back next week with all of your rumors, your innuendo, your news, and recaps of all of these 4 shows you see on your screen, as well as we will be talking about AEW Forbidden Door and what happened there. And we will have to get into previewing NXT Heatwave and WWE Money in the Bank next weekend from Toronto, Canada. RK, anything you would like to add before we get out of here?
I'm hoping this video gets uploaded and doesn't get flagged, because if that's the case, then I think I got some surprises for you next week.
Love the sound of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Top Rope Renegades. I'm Kurt. That's RK. We will talk to you guys next week.